Well, good afternoon, boys and girls. Welcome back to the grumpy old Git in the Corner. It was a clear blue skied Friday, but it's starting to cloud up a bit out there now. Oh, I've got to remember to mute that one. Otherwise, I'm going to end up with a lot of lag. Jason, good afternoon, mate. Jenny, how are you, sweetheart? Rippy, obviously, you came in earlier. Good to see you, mate. Bleach Demon, if you're still in there, good afternoon. And the lovely Lost Souls, of course. Now, if you noticed, there's a distinct lack of a Mrs. W in her chair. She is actually upstairs on her other computer, so she may well join us in the panel in a bit. Till she decides to come down for a cigarette, I expect. But good afternoon, Phil. Hope you're all well. Apparently, there is going to be another cold spell next week, if you believe mainstream media. I wouldn't sell her. Nobody could pay me enough to part with her, Holly. My soulmate and the backbone of my channel, my tech support. Did I just see the cat come in? So the window's open. She's upstairs ready to join in. I wondered why she'd snuck up there earlier. So how are we all today then? Have you had a good week? I've had a few days off. I haven't done any videos this week just to clear my head of all the shit that's going on out there. And then when I look back into it, there's even more shit going on. Oh, I'm a bit fidgety today. I don't know why. Gary, good afternoon. Hope you're well, mate. Right, now this has been sat in the ashtray for about the last hour. It's only half of one. So hopefully this will see me through to the end of the stream. But it is going well. I must admit, I did have a bit of a lapse the other day. Yeah, it was just some things happened and I got a bit worked up and I just needed a few ciggies. But since then, I'm back on the usual 4 or 5 a day. Grumpy Sapper, good afternoon. You're on the rum again. Oh, God. Afternoon, Stitch. Well, very early evening. Let me just check on the cat a minute, guys. Where's she go? Did the cat come up there? So, is she okay? I can shut the window then. Thank you. I didn't see the cat come in and it's bloody cold with that window open. Paulette, good afternoon, sweetheart. Did you get my message on Insta? Okay, you're talking to Holly, fine. So what have we been seeing since I come back onto the wild world web? Well, obviously, the big story is the acid attack, or I should say alleged acid. The police have just said a corrosive substance, which I would naturally take as an acid, but it could be something else. We just don't know. But it's the police's response to this. Now, good afternoon, Stuart. Yeah, the police. Now, they put out an appeal. If you see this guy, stay away from him. At the time, no fucking pictures of him, no description of him. So how could you keep away from him? So to me, that is just endangering the public. They've since released pictures and a description and a name even. And earlier on, well, not so long ago, they did report that they'd raided allegedly his brother's place looking for him with fire engines, ambulances. But the thing about this goes back to what's coming across the channel. Whether he came across the channel or by other means, I don't know. Good afternoon, Para. But he'd been in this country seeking asylum. He'd sexually assaulted somebody and he'd exposed somebody and went to court for it. But after that, they granted him asylum. How the fuck does that work? And before they'd even given out a description of this clown, we had fucking politicians on mainstream media saying, this is why we need the Rwanda plan. Fuck off, is what I say to that. You let the bastards across the channel. You could stop them. The Rwanda plan doesn't come anywhere near this. It's fuck all to do with it, and it won't work anyway. So that rolled me up to start with. You know, they hadn't even released his name and a description, but all of a sudden, oh, the Rwanda plan would have stopped this. Ridiculous. Now, we're seeing people dying on the streets. Yeah, there's the unexplained death syndrome, as it's called. But, Uncle, good afternoon. But the government aren't seeing this. Mainstream media aren't reporting it. There are literally hundreds of people getting stabbed by these people. And I will say there are some British involved in that as well, but nowhere near as much as there are the immigrants. What are the government doing about it? Fuck all. As usual. Absolutely nothing. Arrived in... Oh, he arrived in a truck, did he, Para? Yeah, I haven't looked right into how he got here. All I just know is this, he was granted asylum after being taken to court for sexual assault. A lorry on a yacht. How does that work? Yeah, Gary. I mean, sentencing now in the courts, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. I mean, you've only got to look, literally, they just live sentenced the two kids that murdered Bianca, whatever her name was, the trans teenager. Now, my mind on that score, they said the sentences would be slightly reduced because they were children. They were only, both of them, 16. So at 16, you can choose your gender. You can make lots of decisions for yourself that the government have given you. Now, that was a preempted, pre-planned murder. So if the kids are allowed to make these decisions, then they should be sentenced accordingly. Any other person that had premeditated murder would have got a stiffer sentence. Those two openly admitted that it was preempted, they'd planned it, they were going to do more, yet they reduced the sentence because of their age. That's wrong as far as I'm concerned. That's right, Paulette. We know, I know there's plenty of people just sit in the background and listen. Don't have a problem with that. By the way, hi trolls, lurkers. Yes, Jenny, they had an actual list. Now, that to me, they should have been sentenced as adults. The government class a 16-year-old as an adult with the decisions they've given them to make for themselves. So if they want to be treated like adults, sentence the bastards as adults. That's what I say. yes, 20 years and 22 years. Oh, not forgetting the stalkers and the yes, Holly. But yeah, if they want to be adults and they're given the roles of adults, then they get fucking sentenced as adults, as far as I'm concerned. Grumpy Shabby, not a stalker. Stomper? Yeah, it is, Gary. It's bloody ridiculous, mate. I mean, this is the world our government have created. And to prove a point on that, we've actually now had an MP resign because he fears for his safety from the public. Good. Maybe the rest of them will do the fucking same, because they're the ones that have been making us live in fear for years now, especially the last 2 or 3 years. They have installed fear in the public, and as far as I'm concerned, it's about time they fucking got a bit of it back. Now, they can't see. Good afternoon, Dan. Police abusing powers in the house. If they can't see the fact that they need protection from the electorate, the votes, the voters, and they can't see they're doing something wrong. Now, if they were doing everything right, they wouldn't need that, would they? You see my reasoning there? It's beyond me how these elite assholes can say what they do what they do. I mean, it's not a government anymore, as far as I'm concerned. In my mind, my opinion, it's not a government anymore. What we're living in now is a fucking dictatorship. Oh, hello. That's ooh, thank you very much, YouTube, for giving me an alert. 10 minutes late rather than an hour. It was a religion of peace that targeted the MP. Yep, I haven't seen it, who it was, Stuart. Obviously, I've been off this week doing various things, including a road trip up to see police abusing powers earlier in the week. But yeah, why would an MP hide and need protection if he's doing his job right? They don't listen to the public. They don't listen to the voters. And I think the Tories are on a crash dive. I don't think they're going to get anywhere near winning the next election. Yeah, sorry. Except for the 2 hours, 2 hours, over an hour stuck in bloody traffic due to an oil spill on the motorway. We had to take a bit of a detour, but that was well sorted. With the lovely Mrs. W, who was the navigator, she was straight on her phone, seeing what was going on, why the motorways were blocked. And literally, we went further up the motorway to the next junction. And of course, everybody else was doing the bloody same, weren't they? So it was all queued up at the next junction back about 4 mile, I think it was, on the motorway. But it was a traffic light controlled roundabout. So it was a few through, stop, few through, stop. Bleach Demon, I did say good afternoon earlier, mate. I saw your name on the list up there. In fact, he was the first one in to comment. It was a pleasure coming up, Dan. It really was. It's always good to see you guys. And for those who don't, we're like a family, the 4 of us. In fact, we did go out shopping. I remarked how much we looked like a family with a mother, father, son, and daughter going shopping together. I turned that fucking fire on. I'm sweating now. Let's turn that one off. Scouts for 5 Teflon boys. Yeah, well, the religion of peace, Stuart, we know who they are, don't we? Yeah, it's the religion that kills people to keep peace, apparently. Kaz, good afternoon, sweetheart. Welcome. Danny's breathing. But yeah, there's been so much going on, you know, and it's about time these politicians started reaping what they sow. Now we've got farmers and the truckers getting involved now, literally all over the world, with what's going on. The videos are out there of France, Brussels, and big up to the farmers for that. The trouble is, in this country, we've got probably a quarter of the farmers that a lot of these European countries have got. And as for the truckers joining in, they can't, because there was laws passed to prevent them doing this back during the fuel protests, I do believe. I don't know whether she's watching, but a big thank you to Donna Proctor for that information. She had it posted on her Facebook. But yeah, I mean, the police are letting them come into the cities and then going at them. Now, this goes back to the miners' strike here in Britain. I don't know how you remember that going on, or some of you that probably not even old enough to remember it. But there's been a documentary on over the last, I think it's 2 weeks. There's a final episode to come. It's in 3 parts. It's on Freeview. I can't remember what channel it is now. But the last episode was from a film crew that actually filmed the big protest over the miners. Now, all the way through, good afternoon, Moo. All the way through the miners' strike, when there were protests and things kicking off, the police had roadblocks up, stopping people getting to them. But when the big one happened, the police opened the roads. They let everybody through. They let coach loads through. Why? So they had more there to beat. And we saw, those of us that remember it, saw how bad the police were then. There was lots of blood and broken bones on both sides. And that was one, I believe, the police facilitated. That's why they let them all through. That's what they wanted to happen. And it seems that's very, very similar to what they do nowadays. They'll let everybody through to the protests. So they've got somebody there to go at. We know how they work. We know they're narcissistic bastards, that they will pick up a baton or the CS, Parva spray as it is now. They're not allowed to use the CS. So they can get stuck into them. I mean, Telford, yeah, the police stayed in the background, but they did let the counter-protesters get too close to the main crowd. Why? Again, provocation. They wanted the hassle so the police could step in to prove their worth. Well, they're worth fuck all to me. They're a defunct organisation. Now, they're not the police. They're just Nazis. And I'll use that word, Nazis, because how they work is exactly how certain groups worked during the 30s and 40s in Germany. Yes, exactly, Grumpy. Exactly. That they will never, ever stop a protest because it's all overtime. And when there's be seen to be policing something like that, even if it is on government's orders and false allegations and false orders, there's a lot of money to be had in it. So you bang on there, mate. They're already screaming that they need more money for more officers. But look at what we get. That silly little bitch that told somebody to fucking stop singing gospel songs in public. You can only do them in a church. All right, we weren't paying her. She was a volunteer. Personally, I think she should have the uniform ripped off her back and fucking kicked out on her ass. Yes, it was Maggie, Gary. Yep, she was in charge then. Yeah, grumpy Sam, my dad paid his mortgage off through the riots. Yeah. And that is the thing. It's everything the government and the police do now is about money. It's not about keeping anybody safe. A lot of it, I believe, is giving them a lot of chance to get out the aggression stick, I'll call it. Yes, it was Grumpy Sapper. I mean, okay, I was a little arsehole through the 70s and I used to antagonise the police at every opportunity. But they never used to beat you back then if they arrested you. They never used to rough you up. They wouldn't provoke you. You actually had to commit a crime for the police to nick you. Now, they don't need a crime. They'll make one up. They'll arrest you just to harass you or teach you a lesson because you're doing something, in their opinion, they don't like. And that's the way they've gone. And this is what I say. The government are moaning about all this. Well, as far as I'm concerned, you reap what you fucking sow. This is the society that the government have created and they can't deal with it. It's ridiculous. Is that one? Huh, that's the one that was showing up that I got a shiny head then. Okay. Yeah, Grumpy. And the thing is, now most of them are. Doesn't matter what level they're at. They're all the same now. Right from the head, right the way down to the little turd on the ground. And that's the society we're in. And there are people that are fighting back now. They've literally had enough of it. I mean, I am where I'm stuck indoors most of the time. I would consider myself lucky because I don't have to face them up in public. I mean, I have got a video on my channel where I did face them up during lockdown and they didn't like it. But they also knew damn well they couldn't fucking do anything about it. Even more so because I was telling them what they could and couldn't do. So they knew that I knew the law. And at that point, in my YouTube career, as it were, I'd only just started. And I think that was one of the first few videos I posted. But before I went doing things like that, I got some advice from Police Abusing Powers. He sent me some paperwork and leaflets and photocopied sheets and cards and stuff. And when faced with those, the actual word of the law, which came from the government, they had to abide by them. And what a lot of people didn't realise, that every time a copper stopped you and said, "Can I have a word? Why aren't you wearing a mask?" that was against their policy. Because right at the bottom of the list of what they could do and what they couldn't do, it told them that they actually had no powers of stop and account. Well, I could have cussed chawed him, Dan, couldn't I, Dan? But Dan is back. He posted a video the other day, which is going really, really well. So keep an eye out for his videos. He is making a return, and he's doing it with a bang by the looks of it. No, they still don't learn, Dan. And, you know, all these laws and things they put in place, they're all checkable. Any member of the public can go online and see them. And you can tell, you know yourself, when they're not sticking to the rules, they can be held account now. Yes, you'll probably get arrested before it happens, and you will have to go through a load of shit and jump through a few hoops. But if you bide your time and are patient, you can hold them to account. It's been done on many occasions. Police Abusing Powers has done it. Many other, although Dan's not an auditor, there are many auditors that have done it. No disrespect to the auditors, but I do believe that there are some of them out there that go out simply for that. They'll provoke the situation. Murph, before you wave your hand, are you sober?
Cheers.
Mate. Sober
Cheers.
for now.
Sober for now. So you kick me off when you think I've gone too far.
Yeah, just like I did the other month. Yeah, I do it with everybody, mate. I run a zero tolerance stream.
Don't worry about that. I run a zero tolerance in my life as well, mate. So don't worry about that.
It's pissed a few people off, but to be honest, I don't give a fuck. It's my channel and I run it how
That's
I
what I mean. Yeah. No problem. No problem.
Oh, we got Budge in the chat. Good afternoon, Budge. Who else has joined in there? We got 33 watching, so there are some lurkers in the background there. I know some of them haven't got any ill intent, but now we got as well other things I've found out since I've come back on. The water companies. Now, I remember a few weeks back. Sorry, Murph, I'm just going through what I normally do.
Crack on, mate. Crack
on. The water companies. Now, they were being held up. Well, I don't need to see. You're in black and white, sweetheart. What's going on?
I'm in the dark.
Oh, okay.
OMG.
I'll be up in a minute then. Now, the water companies now, I remember a few months back where they were told by the government and Ofwat that they've got to get themselves sorted out. They've made enough money off the public. They should have been doing the repairs and upgrades on the water supplies. So what do I hear this week? They're going to put the water rates up 6% above inflation. So they're going to rip us off even more.
Can we just have a look at the bonuses that they paid out to their directors?
They were in the range of millions for the top bots.
Yep. And also the private companies, so they've got to pay dividends.
Yeah.
See, where's all the money gone? It's gone out to private investors.
It's gone in their pockets and private enterprise. It's done fuck all.
Instead of the infrastructure, you know what I mean? Instead of the infrastructure, they've just gone and just filled their pockets. You know.
Yeah.
But
and now we can't swim in the sea.
Companies do that if they've got money in the pot. It's a case of, well, we can pay that out as dividends and keep it to a minimum. You take big bonuses as the CEO, director, whatever, and it keeps your corporation tax down, so it's less to go to the government.
Exactly.
And every big company does it.
Yeah, well, look, I can understand a company doing it, but what the infrastructure side of it is where we're talking about, where we can't even allow our kids to swim in our own seas now.
But they don't
because
care.
of the amount of sewage.
Stuart's just put that in the chat there. Now, Stuart, it's Northern Ireland, isn't it, Stuart, that you're in? They don't get water charges.
Northern Ireland. Yeah.
They don't get water charges. They're talking about bringing them in, but they don't pay them.
But we pay far more than England, than Wales,
and Scotland,
Ireland, on all sorts of things. We don't.
Why do we pay Wales so much? I know why, because I saw it.
A bit of lamb.
No, they built a bloody great pipeline all the way across from Wales, right across to the Midlands, to draw water from Wales.
Where are
What,
water
Bala?
comes
Are you
from?
talking Bala Lake, are you?
No, I don't know which reservoir it is or where it's coming from, but in Oxfordshire in particular, there was a lot of upheaval and disruption years ago because they were building this 8-foot diameter bloody pipeline right across the countryside.
Well, if you look at a lot of Scotland as well, they don't pay electricity charges, so they've got hydro electricity.
Well,
So really,
we
you
got
know?
a brook just down the road here. I quite often thought about, well, could I run a wire down there and put one in somewhere?
Well, my brother-in-law in the Philippines turned round and he bought his wife a new washing machine, and he took an old washing machine, took the motor out of that, put a fan on it, and put it into the river, and that powers the washing machine for him.
Yeah,
It doesn't.
a lot of people do it
Because they live in the
with,
province, there's no electricity.
a lot of people do it with car alternators.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think. He used something like that. I'm not too sure that the actual, but I know that he runs the washing machine off the spring that runs locally.
Elam Valley. Thank you, Lost Souls. That's one of the reservoirs.
That's Elan, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the electric's a rip-off, the gas is a rip-off, the water's a rip-off, and the government and the police are a rip-off. So what have we got left in this country?
Well, apparently the police have just raided 5 properties looking for this guy.
Well, the only one I saw was they'd raided his brother's flat or something.
Yeah, they've since raided 5 other properties now in the last. But I mean, he'll be gone. He's already probably in France already by now. You know, he's gone.
Well, with the scar on his face, I mean, he's quite obviously recognisable. There's nobody else who's going to have that sort of damage to the side of their face, I would have thought. But the picture they put out originally didn't have that on it. It's only the CCTV picture they put out, which I put on Facebook earlier.
But I've said I hope the woman did that to him by actually knocking the. They said it was some sort of alkali back into his face when he was attacking her. I really do hope that is damage that she caused.
Well, I mean, he looked pretty carved up. He looked pretty carved up as he was walking through there when they got him on the CCTV, and she was still moving around from what I've seen of the CCTV footage. Now, admittedly, it was immediate, so I don't know what damage has gone on afterwards. You know,
she went back at him after he knocked her over with the car.
Yeah.
And dragged the other kid out the car as well, because he nearly knocked the kid over that was already out the car.
That's right.
So
He just dumped the kid on the floor,
and had a go, and that was when he dragged the third kiddie out the car. So,
were they his kids?
No, hers.
Well, it seems they were both hers at the moment. What the connection is between her and him, I don't know.
Yeah, because he travelled down from the Midlands, didn't he? He travelled all the way down to do the thing, and he was in the car with her.
Stuart be holed up in one of the prayer places. Yeah, that wouldn't be surprised, Stuart. they do like to hide people like that, as we know. Yeah, Grumpy Sapper just put in, yeah, he's probably sat in a mosque somewhere.
I thought he was a Christian. I thought didn't the police actually give him a reference because he turned Christian after the sexual assault?
Yeah.
So technically, this is not a Muslim attack. It's a Christian attack. Where Christians are now attacking people.
Alleged Christian.
Alleged.
Yeah, I mean, but the biggest point of that, which I take, is he was claiming asylum at the time. He'd done his time for the crime, and they still let the fucker in. That to me is just so wrong.
The police gave him a reference, and the police have now had to refer themselves to be investigated as how they gave him a reference.
The sexual assault
that are looking into it.
The sexual assault, he only got a suspended sentence.
Yep. And it's just beyond me. It really is. I mean, look at fucking wee Cranky. The COVID.
What with the crocodile tears?
Oh man, the shit she's taken in Scotland now, and rightly so, for what they did to him up there. He came from Newcastle. Thank you, Stuart.
Newcastle, that's it. Yeah, that's it, Stuart. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I know.
Grumpy Sapper. It doesn't matter what anybody says, because we're against certain things. We have been branded far right and racist anyway. So if
I'm
people
not
want to call me
racist,
a
I'm just-
racist, then we're fucking racist. But
Racist
we're
is boring.
fine.
Racist is boring. Racist is boring.
we're fighting for what's right. If they want to call us bloody racist for that, then absolutely fine. Go ahead. I'll still call them a bunch of assholes. But
There's lads I serve with who are black, and they say you're not the biggest. They're more racist than me, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
it's
They want to protect their rights. They want to protect their values. They want to protect their family. They want to turn around and do this, and that's all they're interested in. And as they said, if I have to stand beside you, we'll stand beside you and we'll crack on with it.
yeah. It's been a standing joke since they brought that out, Sapper. Don't worry about it, mate. But yeah, I mean, where they've screwed up, all I'm doing still is just going through notes I've been putting together. Did you know about the EVs in the EU now? The law they're putting in electric vehicles. This is a good one. This is a good one. If you've got an electric vehicle, you have got to have a passport for the battery. Seriously?
I didn't hear that one. I didn't hear that one.
Passport for the battery. It's got to have the manufacturer on there. It's got to state how much pollution was caused in the manufacturer. There's a list of about 20 questions on it, which you've got to add to this passport once you get one, if you want to go into the EU.
Well, it's like France as well.
Not yet, not the car or anything like, just the battery.
With the battery. It's like
And it's
France
not
as well.
just-
All these houses have come up for sale in France, and everyone's going, "Wow, why all these houses come up for sale in France?" Because
Well-
they are highly aggressive on the green, and where people have had pellet burners and wood burners and things like that, they're saying, "No, you've got to put in an air source heat pump."
Well, they've actually got, it's not just the EV batteries. This covers industrial batteries, even domestic batteries.
So your solar batteries, things like that, everything you've got to
It
pass.
was over 10 kilowatt hours or whatever it is that they're rated at. Anything over 10 has to have this passport for the battery,
Damn.
because they're still heading to actually do away with diesel and petrol by 2035. They want them all gone.
How does a battery actually get identification to prove it is a battery?
They'll have to get certificates from the manufacturers.
Certificate from the manufacturer, yeah. So they'll have to have a certificate from the manufacturer,
Well, I
and
was
then
being sarcastic because it's not going to have a birth certificate, is it?
Well,
it's got a serial number. It's got a serial number, but you've got a serial number. You've got your national insurance number. You've got your national health numbers. Every one of us are barcoded.
Photo ID.
I'm glad I made your day, Paulette. I find some of these very strange stories in my travels.
I didn't know about that one. Now I must admit, I didn't hear about that.
I hadn't heard about it until today, mate. And the other thing is, in this country now, they're trying to do away with electric bikes.
Are they?
Mm-hmm. It's mainly aimed at the dirt bike type electric bike. Most of the most powerful ones aren't actually a cycle. They don't have pedals. They have footrests, which are illegal on the road.
Yes, that's right.
Now, the other ones that do have pedals break the rules anyway, because the limit is for an electric cycle in this country, it would be pedal assist, and it's 15 miles an hour, which many of these things go more than.
Do you remember Sinclair?
Hang on. But they're not just going after them. They're going after regular electric cycles. that normal people use because they can be used free of charge on the road if they go under 15 miles an hour. So now they're on about they're going to have MOTs, tax, number plates, insurance for what is at the moment a legal cycle.
But they're
do you
saying
remember
about
Sinclair? Do you remember Sinclair? He turned around. He had to pull the Sinclair. What was it? C5 was it?
Yeah.
Because it was too slow at going at 15 miles an hour.
Yeah. But that one, the Sinclair C5, it was very low as well.
It was low, but they had the flag on it and everything, you know. But I mean, yeah, but it was. But and again, you could pedal assist that. That's how he got round the law. You could pedal assist it. But I mean, they had to pull it because they said at the time it was too dangerous because it went too slow.
Yeah. Yep. But they're trying to force them off the road now by saying you can. I mean, where the fuck do you put a number plate on a cycle, for crying out loud? It's going to catch your feet. It's going to catch your legs.
and they're also talking about even on normal cycles that if you're going to use it on the road, you've got to have insurance.
Yep, they talked
because
about
of the
that
amount of damage
some time
that
ago.
happens when they're
Now
running.
we see. Sorry, darling. Carry on.
Sorry, I was just saying because if they hit a car, the amount of damage that's caused, and they are basically an uninsured driver.
Yeah.
I must admit, I've been
Especially
counting that for 20 years that cyclists should be insured.
Especially, think about the new highway code they brought in, which is law, giving cycles and pedestrians right of way. Now, straight away, when they did that, that was automatically full-time going to cause issues because you're giving an unlicensed vehicle priority on the road, which is going to cause accidents.
But that is basically saying, at the end of the day, if you hit a person or a car or a bicycle, they're the ones that actually have the right of way. So you are in the wrong. So you will have to pay on your insurance.
Yep. They are literally trying to drive us into our homes, and that is it. You will stay in your home if you can't walk anywhere within the 15-minute city. You're fucked. They won't allow your cars. They won't allow your cycles. All you'll have is public transport, I expect, which is absolute shite.
Well, Sadiq is the head of the WEF committee for the 15-minute city.
Yeah. Khan is the chair.
Chair of on the WEF committee of Mayor's Committee for 15-minute cities.
It's the City 40s, it's called.
That's it. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
It's literally a panel made up of all the mayors in the world that are in the WEF that want 15-minute cities or have got them.
Yeah.
And they've stuck that evil little dictator at the head.
As the head, yeah.
But the WEF are being pulled down and broken up left, right and centre at the moment. They're being pulled apart on their policies.
Well, I've got to admire them for bringing in that guy that just turned around and went, "You're a bunch of you know." He just thinks.
You know that was a fake film. That was a fake video.
I know it was. Yeah.
He's done several of them, and he's done them on other politicians as well.
But it was still amusing.
Yeah, very good ones, and I agree totally with what he said. They should just fuck off. Same as the WHO. But you get round to them now.
Well, I mean, when you look at what UNRWA and look what happened to UNRWA this week, it turns out that 12 of your guys were actually involved in October the 7th. Oh, and by the way, 2,000 of your guys are active members of Hamas. Oh, by the way, 6,000 of your people are actually
they're being pulled apart.
Yeah,
but you got the WHO with this. They're a similar sort of group, but they're on the health side of things. They want this treaty, the pandemic treaty or whatever it's called. Now, if you look oh, bloody hell, that's a bit bright, isn't it? Oh, it's on the wrong one. Hang on a sec. There we go. If you look at the numbers and the report that's been put out today on cancer, We've got the big backlog, this, that, and the other. There are more people dying now because they haven't been diagnosed, they can't get treatment, and they reckon that the numbers have jumped so high that it's unachievable now, that they're never, ever going to keep up with the cancer issue.
How can you test for cancer over a video call?
Exactly. The
You don't get to see a doctor anymore.
That backed up that people can't get in to be tested. I mean, I'm going in next Tuesday. Oh, by the way, people, there won't be a video probably until Wednesday next week. And that's the reason why I've got to go to the big hospital, the other side of the city, to have me blood nuked. Now, I've been waiting over a year, probably nearer 2 for that test. And that's why I'm having to have all this treatment while I'm waiting just for that one test, because they couldn't afford the isotope to do it.
For crying out loud.
They're doing it now, so it's another train trip.
Yes, Holly. If I come back and my balls are glowing, I'm going to be well pissed off.
ET, go home.
I'll send you a picture.
My sister.
I'll put it on Facebook. I'll then put it on here.
My sister's just gone through cancer treatment, and I've got to say the staff there were absolutely amazing.
The staff here are brilliant. I mean, most of them know me. I worked there for 10 years, as I've said before. But the consultant she even warned me. She said this could take up to 2 years with the state of the NHS. And that was my own consultant told me that. Yeah. She said that they're in such a mess.
Yeah.
The only good thing up here is this hospital didn't really join in with the strikes. There was no picket lines and things like that up there. Apparently, a lot of them just said, no, we'll work. It's being talked about. Striking ain't going to make any difference.
Yeah.
We'll just keep going. Because although they're supported by the union, the members do lose a bit of money. Obviously, because they're doing lots and lots of overtime.
Yeah, I think that's 50% of their salary or something like that. I think is what the union rate is. Yeah, the union doesn't have that much money. But
yes, Gary, I'm fine, mate. It's not. It was a bit of a worry to start with because the polycythemia can be cancerous. But very early on in the investigation by the consultant, I was tested. I'd get tested regular for cancer. Because there's a history of it in the male side of our family, to the point where my uncle died a little while back, well, only days ago, really. So I get tested regularly, and it picked up that it was just the regular polycythemia rather than the Vera version, which is the cancerous one. So that was a big relief to be told that, okay, it could have been cancer, but it's not. But they've got to be really, really careful because of all my other issues. Obviously, there's the strokes to consider because I'm on blood thinners for that. The blood clot I had in the brain, they've got to consider that. I've got arthritis. My neck is full of it and it's spreading.
You're full of it.
Eh?
You're full of it, not just your neck.
Thank you, darling. Do you want to come back down in your chair, or do you want to stay up there?
You're going to have to bury him, Mrs. W. You might as well bury him now. He's gone. He's a goner. You might as well bury him.
Dan's just put in there. At least she'll be able to find me in the dark. Nice one, Pap.
I can find you in the dark.
Oh, you can find me in the dark. You've only got to ask where I am, and I'll tell you.
Dan said I need to. If I click
light up the room with your glow as you come in.
I work on the premise that I'm 57 now. I've had a good life. I've enjoyed my life. I've got a bit more left of it, but if someone turns around to me and says, "Oh, you've got cancer," I go, well, and then I'm not going to go to any hospital or anything like that. I'm not going through chemo. I'm not going through any of the bullshit, because I've watched my mother take 16 tablets a day for the last 20 years, and she's still alive. But is she alive?
What do they say? Patient cured is a customer lost.
You know what I mean? It's just I just look at it and I just go, I don't want to go through that crap. I'd rather go off with this.
I've got grandchildren I want to see grow up. So
So have I. So have I. But the point being is, it's we all are infinite. We all will turn around and go at some point. Now,
Grumpy Shapper.
I'd rather just turn around and just go.
I've got a story about that, Grumpy.
And it's not.
Now, my brother, who's a well-endowed lad, and his mate, who is also well-endowed, were on holiday, and they had a talent show. Now, you know that little few seconds, about 20, 30 seconds, when all the lights go out in a room, it's pitch black. You can't see until your eyes focus. Well, my brother and his mate decided that their bit of the show was going to be put a luminous condom on each and run up and down the stage until people's eyes focused. Why, I don't know, but...
Because it's your brother?
Yeah. He used to be as mad as me. But... no offense.
I remember a few years ago him posting a picture of him and his son in Mankinis.
Mankinis, yeah. That was in Mauritius or somewhere, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted to see.
No, I was quite shocked.
I don't think anyone will want to see that. I don't think anyone will want to see that.
As long as they weren't putting luminous condoms on each other. I don't know who put one on who. Dan.
Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring.
On us on when we start to die. Well, the day you're born, you start to die, basically.
Yes.
All they've done now is shorten that time. They're going on the cancer thing. Obviously, why this is happening is because of the backlog. They're not admitting that, but it's hot. Did I just see a flash in another light? They're hiding it in amongst the backlog. But they're talking about this. They're talking about how many people die out in the Middle East each day. But they're still not talking about the excess deaths in this country, which is thousands a month, with no explanation. Even mainstream media hasn't covered that. The government haven't mentioned it. None of these inquiries have mentioned it. Yes, it may come out in the later stages of the COVID inquiry as it moves on, but
you've also got the other draws on that as well, which is you've got a certain demographic within the UK that likes to marry its cousins, and as a result, the abnormal children, the children that have come out with disabilities and everything else, have put such a duress in certain areas of the UK that they are spending all the money on looking after those children in both hospital and education without actually turning around. And the Guardian put an article out the other week that said, "Oh wow, brilliant! We've managed to bring it down from 90% to 42%."
Grumpy's put there, they've got the cure for cancer in the 90s, but it's been hidden. Now, there are certain things in, I'll say the Amazon, just for an example, in a jungle. There are certain plants and stuff there that I believe, and I've been informed, that they do cure cancer, or at least stop you getting it as a preventative measure. Now, this I'm inclined to believe, because I haven't never ever heard of any of these tribes that live in the jungles or anywhere like that have got cancer. I've never heard of a case of cancer amongst them.
The same
and
is
I do
true.
look at, as Heather will tell you, I do watch a lot of documentaries and investigations into this sort of thing.
But the same is true for people that are overweight. You look at some of the adverts for products to help you maintain a healthy weight, and it's natural products from these little islands, and
The
they're not letting us
rainforest.
know. They want us overweight.
You know, it's ironic. You walk into any hospital in the UK and it's all Filipino nurses and nurses, and they travel around the world, and they're in every hospital here and in the UK and in America and everything else like that. But in the Philippines, it's very strict on hospitals. If you have to go to hospital, you go and you have to pay, and you have to pay up front. They won't touch you until you pay up front, and it was a weird thing. So a lot of them do a lot of witch medicine and other medicine to try and get through their lives, you know, and it's quite interesting, some of the stuff I've seen. It really was interesting.
You think about it, if you're in the middle of a jungle, they've only got natural remedies, and you've got to know what you're doing to be able to take them safely.
Well,
Because
Annabelle,
there's more stuff that will kill you than cure you.
Annabelle, a friend of mine, and she turned around and she had a lesion on her leg, and her mother took her off to a witch doctor, and the witch doctor just turned around and rubbed a stone down her leg. And she sweared blind that stone did what it did in a week, and she was back walking again and doing everything after a major laceration on her leg, you know.
Could have been a coating on the stone, the ground the stone came from.
Again, I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Yeah,
you know,
you
just
don't
what I'm
know
told. You know,
if it works,
no, you don't know. You don't know. But you hear about it and you go, "Oh, interesting." Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you sing
It's
Ting
like
Tang
some of
Walla
these-
Walla Bing Bang?
Sorry, sweetheart, carry on.
I just said, did the witch doctor sing Ting Tang Walla Walla Bing Bang?
He didn't, because I would have just got him. I would have gotten pissed up on Red Horse. So
Don't ask if he had a black face, because that would
It
be
would have
classed
been
as racist. But I mean, you know, there's been reports for years that of people that have been somewhere, took something, and all of a sudden, miraculously, their cancer's disappeared.
Mm.
You know, somebody's got to be looking into why that happened. They've got to find out why. They probably know why.
They
But
know
they won't
why.
release it.
Big
They've
Pharma
got
have got the money and the scientists to figure that out.
But then they want you to spend hundreds of pounds a month to buy their tablets, because they've got
Exactly.
the magic.
Yeah, that's why I say you cure somebody, it's a customer lost for the pharmaceutical companies. It's like now with the what can I call it? The COVID intervention shit. Now, I know last year that this country only ordered a very small amount of the stuff from the pharmaceutical companies. Literally, they only bought enough into this country to cover 5% of the population, because that's how far the uptake had dropped. Well, obviously, they're not making money on that. But what they're doing now is you can actually go to a chemist, order one, pay £49 for it, and you can have one whenever you want. Cross my palm with £49.99, and you can have a jibby jab.
You don't know what you're getting.
No, well, it's the same stuff as what the NHS are using.
You
But
still
if the
don't know what
NHS
you're
want
getting.
curing and prevention, why are they selling it and not giving it away?
Well, all of the big pharma have turned around and put a 25-year exclusion zone on all of their results that they had came back from their
Sorry, Murph.
initial
All
rollout.
right, oh, we'll catch you in a bit, mate. You take care, buddy. She's coming out of prison today. Take care, buddy. Oh, Lost Souls has finally got a victim support fine call. She's been waiting God knows how many days for that. Asia was the way forward, mate. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the medical things in it, I mean, I'll probably get a strike for talking medical shit again. But no, it's just arse about face in this country, and it's been obvious for years that it's being used to reduce the population, which is their ultimate goal. All the government
why are they importing 6 million people a year?
people on this planet. They've said this years ago.
But why are they importing 6 million people a year?
There you go.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, everyone talks about the boats, but it's what the actual immigration figures are, which are horrendous.
What's that got to do with reducing the population, mate? That's what I was talking about. I wasn't talking
Exactly.
about boat people.
No, I'm not talking about the boat people. I'm talking about what the legal immigration is. If you look at the amount of
Yeah.
Ukrainians that have arrived in the UK in the last year, there's 200,000 that have just arrived.
Yeah, what's that got to do with reducing the population through medical means?
Because they're bringing in younger people to actually turn around and waste us as older people.
I doubt about that because the younger people won't stand up and fight. The kids won't be able to fight. They're too young. The reason they're bringing them in is because they're fucking soldiers. That's why they're bringing them in. And the sooner people realise that, the better off we'll be.
The highest immigration figures last year were Indian and Chinese.
Yeah, through legal means.
Through legal means. Yeah.
Legal immigration, I have never had a problem with. Because they will usually only let the people in that bring something to the country and will put something back into it.
As I say, put the meat on the table. Put the meat on the table and it's no problem.
The illegals that come in and get asylum afterwards that are worth fuck all. They're the ones that should be sent back. Yes, we do need immigration. We don't need the levels we've got. I mean, last year, what did they issue to, I think it was Hong Kong? They issued, I think it was 4 million applications, actually went out and offered them to them. Didn't wait for them to apply.
Yeah.
How many had took on it? I don't know. I haven't seen that information. But homemade chili en route. What? Oh, yeah.
It's Chinese number one and India number two at the moment on the legal immigration.
Well, I said something the other day which totally surprised somebody. Now, this is totally off topic. When MG motor cars were being built, who do you think was the biggest recipient of the exports? Where do you think most MG cars went?
I wasn't listening.
Where?
Would you believe Japan? One of the
That's
biggest motor-facturing countries in the world for making cars. They actually bought and imported to Japan more MG cars than any other country in the world.
MG's actually got a good reputation at the moment. You should know that. It's got a very good reputation.
Yeah, that is literally because look where they're built.
Yeah. It's like a lot of Chinese bikes are coming in now that they're building for KTM, they're building for Kawasaki, they're building for Honda, well, not Honda, but they're building for Kawasaki and they're building for KTM. And they're sending their version of the bikes over to the UK.
KTM was, let me think.
It's 51% owned Chinese now anyway. So it's
Swedish?
Yeah. It was originally Husqvarna, KTM.
It was Sweden or somewhere like that. But yeah, Japan is doing a lot of manufacturing. Even things that are built here are built from parts that come from Japan.
Yep.
A lot of cars are in this country. Fords, which are American owned. Jag, which are German owned, I think, if I remember right.
Triumph has moved to China.
Using Japanese parts. Why? Because the Japanese build reliable engines.
Yeah.
That's what killed most of the motor industry around the world, is because the Japanese cars were more reliable.
What you've got now is you've got the Japanese motorcycle companies giving the business to China, and China are building the engines. And China says, okay, we'll build the engines, but give us the patents for the engine and we'll build our own bike as well. And they go, okay.
KTM was originally from Austria.
Austria,
that's right. But it's now 51% owned by a Chinese company.
And also, you had SWM, you had Bultaco, which I believe was Spanish. You had Ossa again, which I believe was Spanish. yeah, it's. I mean, they took over the dirt bike scene before the Japanese really
I've
came
forgotten the
involved.
name of the company. I've forgotten the name of the company, but there's one company that owns something like 7 or 8 brands now, including the Italian mob. They've just Swan. I've forgotten the name of the company, but they own virtually everything that you drive or buy. They own something of it.
Montesa, yes, Grumpy. I did have a Montesa Cota 323 at one point in my history. Nice little trials bike. But they did do motocross bikes as well, but they were never successful in that. They were only successful in trials.
Back in America.
Tata, yes, they own most of the lorry.
No, it's not Tata. No, it's not Tata. No, there's another company. It begins with an S. I'm just trying to think of it. And they're specifically bikes and cars. Tata is steel and everything else like that.
Oh, Tata own most of the steel manufacturing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, no. This is specifically bikes and cars. It's a Chinese company, and they own KTM. They've got 51% in KTM. They've just brought out they own what's the Batelli? What's those Italian bikes?
There's loads of them. Benelli, Ducati,
Benelli. They own Benelli.
V Augusta.
V Augusta, I think it's long gone. I think they already own that as well. It's a huge.
They are a luxury superbike. The MV.
Yeah, I know MV. I'm just saying that this company. I was surprised on it the other day because I watched Freddie Dobbs, which is one of the things, and he said, look, they own this, they own that, they own that, they own this, they own that. It's like
yeah, it's. I mean, I've had loads of bikes, even German bike at one point, which I didn't get on with. Well, hang on, let me take that banner off now. That don't need. People have seen that. Back on there. Thank you. Who else we got in here? Tata is Indian Sheffield made steel. Tata owns most of the steel production around the world, Gary. Unfortunately, over here, where was it? Cardiff is losing a lot of its steel manufacturing. Tata used to be next to Meadowhall. They're all over the world, mate. They're all over the world.
It means for the first time ever, Britain cannot sustain itself in making steel.
We never could. Most of the steel
we were confident, but we
MG cars came from China.
Yes.
That's why the bees and the midgets rusted so badly.
Yep.
Because it was cheap steel from China. I know that because I worked at the factory.
Well, I know that because I worked in a factory, Group 5 Pipe Saudi, and
no, I used to work for MGs, mate.
Oh, did you?
I worked at the MG factory. My father worked there for over 30 years.
I worked in creating steel pipe for oil wells.
No, I worked at the MG.
Well.
We, if you wanted it, you got a new job after getting your redundancy. They took you on at Cowley, building the Rovers and the Vitesses.
And we used to buy our steel from Europe and bring the steel in rolls of steel to actually form the pipe. And the Arab bosses said, no, we're going to buy it from China. And the first shipment came in, it was like, this is crap.
Yes, Gary, I know Filton. I lived in Bristol for a few years. Well, about 10 years, actually. We used to be able to see the airfield from where I lived at one point. YW has taken ownership of VW that also makes Bentley. Well, the Germans virtually owns Rolls-Royce, Bentley, Jaguar. A lot of the manufacturers are owned by them now. BMW bought a load of them out. Who was the other one? There was another one. Can't remember the name of it now. Land Rover.
Well, it's Jag, isn't it? Jaguar Land Rover.
Yeah, Jaguar
Land Rover. That's Indian owned. That's Indian owned, and
that's owned by the Germans.
What, Jaguar Land Rover?
Yes.
Indian.
No, it ain't.
Hang on, boys.
It is Indian.
Check it out, Mrs. W. If I'm wrong, I'll
Hang
apologise.
on.
But I think you'll find they're owned by the Germans.
We don't want to tit for tat me.
No, tit for tat.
Ooh,
Check.
it's Chinese, says Grab. Jagan Lando is Indian. It is Indian, is it? Is that right, darling?
Yep.
It is. I apologise. I thought it was owned by the Germans.
No. That's why they've had this big problem. You cannot insure a Land Rover at the moment because they forgot to put a timer on your automatic button. So these kids are just going around with wires and they can open up your car and rob them. So you cannot insure a Jaguar Land Rover at the moment.
That's because
Owned
of
by
cloning.
Tata.
They're owned by Tata now, are they?
Yeah.
Indian
I knew it was
company.
Indian.
I do apologise. I was wrong. I always assumed they were built by the Germans.
No. Because there's a major problem with
stand
insuring a Land Rover now. Major problem with insuring a Land Rover.
It's all right. I've started taking a bit more time when I look for things because I did it the other day and I was looking at a film and I gave out the year in which it was set, not the year it was released.
Right. Can you just hang on a minute there, sweetheart? Sorry. I've got to respond to a comment. Smiler. Now, I've got a rule in here and I've kicked somebody out last week for it and the week before. I'm going to block you simply because of what you entertain on your channel, because they follow you about and I'm not having them in here. And they follow you. Sorry about that, mate, but you're gone. It's zero tolerance. I've said that all along. Any cunt that's out there that causes trouble or entertains trouble on any other channel, you might as well fuck off now because you won't be allowed in here. And I don't give a shit who it is. Sorry about that. But that's the way I run my channel.
It's your channel, mate. It's your channel.
I run mine how I like. I will not have people in here that follow trouble or create trouble or even allow it in their channel. So he's now hidden. You've got to do. I mean, Smiler used to be a good involvement in the channels and that, but he's turned to the dark side. He opens channels of his own just to let people go in and cause fucking drama and uproar. And I won't have people like that in here.
I can't actually believe what's going on at the moment. I mean, you've got Trevor Coult and all the rest of the boys. They're rucking like mad, and I'm going, what is the reason you're looking for?
That's why I don't even talk about them in here. I don't give them any chance to come back at me, and any of them come in here, they're out straight away.
The moment you start talking about somebody, someone else is going, they're talking about you, and then they're trying to come in and have a go.
Isn't it very sad?
You know, I don't give a fuck whether I lose subs or views through it at all. I run my
Yeah,
channel
exactly.
how I want. They run theirs how they want. I don't go into theirs. I don't want them in mine.
All I'm trying to do is just if I'm commenting on someone, I don't give negative. I try not to do a negative comment, even if I think it's the biggest pile of rubbish that I've ever seen in my life. I don't turn around and
no. If I watch a video that I don't like, I just click out of it. I don't hit thumbs down or anything like that.
I just leave it. I leave it. Move on to the next one. You know,
I've never given a thumbs down.
No, I don't.
I don't like it. I move on. Yeah, you're not for me.
Exactly. My house, my rules.
Yeah.
Exactly. Very simple. Very simple.
And the fact that I put that in the title and I'm quite open, I say it on my channel, I say it on the live. You know, I just
don't get the negativity. I don't get the negativity.
If they want to slag me off behind my back, fucking let them. I ain't in there to listen to it, so it don't bother me.
Well, you see, a lot of it is that a lot of people got impacted by the lockdown, and there's a big mental health disorder problem in the country at the moment.
Nothing to do with mental health, mate. Shall I tell you what it is?
Well, no,
So
if you
some
lock
of those
someone down,
channels
if you
that
lock someone
like
down,
drama, they've got way bigger subscriptions than me. They got way more viewers than me. But you know what? I don't give a fuck.
well, you bear in mind that what you had is that you where people were going out to work every day and people were living their lives and doing all that, and suddenly they got to lockdown and they said, well, what am I going to do now? I'm going to go on to YouTube.
A lot of these,
And then they just wanted to give they wanted to vent their frustration, so they became keyboard warriors.
But you've got both sides of it. At the end of the day, you've got, yeah, I want my channel to grow. I want to get to a point where whatever. And the drama streams, people go to watch. So you're encouraging people in. But there's no need. And people go in there that have got mental issues caused by lockdown. But it doesn't matter what their excuse is. They go
There is no excuse.
for the fight. They go to see the
I don't get that. I don't get that. They go for the glory, not for not just the one night glory. You know what I mean? And that's low self value.
yeah, it's
no, they go for the attention as well. That's the thing.
yes, Jason. I mean, I've seen a lot of them. I have seen them on other decent channels and the shit they cause in there. And I'd rather have 30 people in here with no arguments than 330 arguing like fuck. I just can't be doing with it at my age. No, if they want to come and knock on the door and fucking argue with me, they'll get an argument.
That's a different story. Yeah, that's a different
Because
story.
that's how real men sort their fucking hassles out,
Yeah.
not through slagging each other off on here. Real men answer the door and put their fucking point of view, and let's see where it gets them on that. It's I just don't like it. I won't entertain it. I had it before.
Look, it's why you haven't seen me for it's why you haven't seen me for a few months, because I've been working and I've had an embargo on me doing anything online.
Yeah,
We did wonder because you were supposed to be over here with us by now.
I know. I got called down to a military base down here, and I was working on a military base, so I got embargoed. So I got held back. It should all start happening again by Monday.
No, that's because it was Grumpy Sapper that told us you were actually okay and still over there.
yeah.
I'm still here. I was just working on a military contract, so I was put on a total embargo. I could not even fart without telling them.
Yeah, but it is what it is, Murph. You know.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is, we wondered what the hell happened, because last time we spoke to you, you were coming over here Christmas
That's
Day.
right. And that was the plan, and it should be then in actioning on Monday. So it should be on Monday. I'm just waiting. I've got someone flying in tomorrow, no, Sunday, and from that point on, we should be operational and away we go.
Yeah, Sapper, that was fine. We didn't need any details or information, mate. We appreciate the fact that you let us know that he was okay.
Cheers, Grumpy. Cheers, Grumpy. No problem.
Just don't know he's okay. He's still over here, and that's all we needed.
Yeah.
Look, so I actually didn't get the chance to let you know, because again I've been put on an embargo, so I didn't get a chance to let you know or anything. I just had to disappear for a. I wasn't even allowed. So much has happened. So much has happened. And I just want so much had happened, and I wanted to. You don't think I would have put on my channel? Don't you think I would have been shouting on my channel? And I didn't. I couldn't.
Boyfriend left
I'm
him.
like,
My brother was in a similar situation not so long back. He does computers, and he got a job, and he could not talk about it. So he was like, "Well, I'm having to travel quite a long way to do a job that you're not allowed to know about, for somewhere that you're not allowed to know who." But apart from that, I'm fine. You know.
Exactly.
I hear things I'm not supposed to say, but the voices tell me to say it anyway. You know.
I know. Yeah, well, I can't.
See you coming down. I've earned another one of these after I've only had one in about the last 3-4 hours.
Well, I've only gone an hour and 20 minutes.
All right then.
When my water's gone.
All right then. Oh, I just didn't know whether you wanted to come down for one. That was all.
Mm.
I'm
Hi,
glad you.
Sean. Sorry,
glad
I didn't
you
say
eloquent, Mrs.
hi
W.
personally.
Sorry, say again, Murph.
No,
I said I'm glad you're eloquent.
Eloquent. I'm
Yeah,
always
but you
full of
said-
words.
Well, no, but when you said when your water's gone, I thought you meant breaking.
didn't know much chance of that.
I'm on the hard stuff.
So I'm just gonna.
I tend to make a coffee and bring it up, but that only lasts so long, and then it goes cold.
Yeah.
And then you're into, do I want to drink this? So I've got myself a bucket of water. And once I finish this, I'll then need to go to the loo again. And then I might come down and have a cigarette and stay down there. But I haven't even turned the laptop on yet. So
Oh, no, actually, lovely to see you on screen for a change because normally you're in the background. So now you're one of your co-hosts.
well, I came up last week because a couple of weeks before, Roger had ended up with nobody coming onto the panel. So it was a bit difficult.
2 weeks
for
on
him.
the trot, 3 hours.
So
Oh, damn. Yeah. Well, I did try and pop in and just say hello. I'm here. I'm alive, and I did leave the odd message, but it was a case that I just was not allowed. Come on.
No, it's fine, mate. Absolutely
no, that's
fine.
absolutely fine. And yes, we saw you, but obviously, because of the situation, you didn't want to put too much in. Good afternoon, Resist. But no, as I said, we did think about you. We did ask.
Oh no, and it's gonna be a little bit like this for the next few months as well. I've got probably until next December with work now at the moment that there's places I'll be that I can't log in. You understand? So it's just a case. But I will send you a message. All is good. Happy days, guys. I'll say hello to you. But I mean, it's a case that
That's why I've got a YouTube permission officer.
Yep.
If
No,
I'm naughty, I'm not allowed on.
I said last week I'd do this, and he ended up with the panel full.
yeah,
So
it does.
We thought,
It does.
we'd try again. And as I said, I think once there's someone in, it tends to make it easier for others to join. So I thought, and people have been moaning that I was only in the background. So it's I'm here by popular demand.
It's a pleasure to see you as a co-host.
She's as big a part of the channel as me, mate. She's
Oh,
my
no,
researcher, my
I know
techie.
yeah, I know. I'll fact check that, man. Done. Yeah, okay.
And when I turn off, she tucks me into bed.
What? You got it made. You got it made.
No, it's as Dan says, he would like to have somebody in the background working with him on his. And that's where I'm lucky. I've got Heather like she was doing just now. I don't have time because I don't multitask very well with my brain. And if someone brings something up, I've got to stop what I'm doing, stop what I'm saying to look into it. Now I don't have to because Heather's there busying away in the background and she does it all for me. Which
But it's actually easier up here as well.
Well, because you ain't got me in front of you.
No, because I'm like you up here. I've got the two screens.
Oh, of course, yeah,
So
you full set
I can
up.
have things over there. I can see where Tata Motors headquarters is and KTM and where Welsh Water goes and Discord. And over here, I've got the chat and StreamYard and so
You're doing your thing.
She's as widely spread on the internet now as I am. I actually opened up a Rumble channel. I haven't used it simply because you post a video, it takes so long to go up. If you go on there, do a live, it's just a fucking free for all in the comments. It's not worth doing. I mean, I've quite often thought about putting Facebook on the list as well, so I go live on Facebook at the same time. But it's going to get complicated for me because I'll have two lots of comments to deal with. And as you know, I like to keep in touch with the comments. I like to keep in touch with my subscribers because I just class them all as friends I haven't met yet. You know, there's a few I've met. It was really nice the other week to meet Simon Sideways and a few of the lads down there.
Oh, he's a good lad. He's a good lad.
I mean, that was an awesome stream on the Friday night. It was the stream wasn't supposed to happen until Saturday, but the amount of alcohol that was going round, not in my case because I don't drink.
I know, I saw you at the end of the table. You were at the end of the table doing all the monitoring.
But Saturday's stream was a waste of time because you'd all had far too much to drink during the day. That were drinking. I will say that were drinking. But when you've got Simon going, I've had too much to drink, you're not going to take over running it, even though you're sober.
Look at my reaction when he sat me in front of his kit.
Yeah. What is going on here?
Well, like no neck then for a minute.
He's got 2 roads. He's got about 4 cameras. He's got screens everywhere.
I just took one look at it. I thought, there's no way I'm going to touch anything. Even the keyboard is about 3 times the size of mine with all flashing coloured lights on it. I'm like, fuck this.
I've got a box over there full of about 5,000. What? 50,000 dirhams worth of kit. YOLO box, you know what I mean? When I was setting up YOLO box, doing all of that, doing cameras, everything like that. And because of work, I haven't been able to set anything up. And I've got the space here to set up the camera, set it all up on a table. I've got the table already ordered.
Thank you, Gary. I mean, that's what I want. That's what I want. There's nobody in there has an argument with anybody. If anybody's got a problem with anybody, you know, it's dealt with respectfully. And that's the channel I want. And that's why I keep this channel like that, Gary. It's a nice place to come to talk to people. Sorry,
Danny. Lascelles, what did you hear? I've got a thing here that creaks that sounds like I'm farting. I'm not. It's not.
That's Lost Souls. That's Lost Souls just being Lost Souls.
Yeah, but you're a lovable twat, Holly. But this is the thing. I mean, Holly could literally come in there and say anything, the same as Dan. But because we know them, we've met them many times now. We get on great. We know the way each other works, and that's why she's got a spanner.
Holly's one of my subscribers. I won't say anything.
She's one of the best mods out there, mate. Believe me.
Yeah. I think she's one of my mods.
Channels could do with a Holly.
She's one of my mods.
It's. But even on Dan's channel, we work well as a team. You know, it's You've got to, like, with Dan's channel, it's a little bit more, well, quite a bit more forgiving than mine. He's got a lot more people in there. Simon Sideways, again, is another level.
Yeah.
One of his channels, I am a moderator on. Not his main one, but I am on. I think it's Rev on a Rant. I'm a moderator.
Yeah.
But again, that one you have to let a little bit more go because that's what Simon wants. You know, he doesn't like a lot of the conflicts, but he will let a certain amount go because it involves the people that he knows.
Engagement is important. And I understand why Simon needs to exist. I understand why Pat needs to exist.
Bleach Demon, you were absolutely right to point that out. And that's why I said to Heather, I've only had one that was here. That was half of one. And that had been sat in the ashtray for a couple of hours because I had a couple of drags out of it earlier. And that is why I said to Heather, have I earned one? But that will still keep me below 5 or maybe half a dozen on the day, the whole day before I go to bed. Now, considering I used to smoke probably 40 a day and maybe go through 20 on a 3-hour live, that is a good thing. And the other bit of news is that a lot of you don't know about. I haven't had any devil's lettuce for over a week.
I was just going to turn around and say, was that Scooby Dooby Doo, or was it
Nope.
just
I haven't had any for over a week, mate, and I
Bloody
don't
hell,
want
mate.
to start again.
And I will say thank you, Bleach Demon, for pointing it out.
That's
But
what I said to him.
it's a conscious choice to have one. What he was doing is same as I will do. I will sit there, pick up a cigarette, light it, smoke it, put it out. Pick up a cigarette, light it, smoke it, put it out. And you don't realise that it hasn't been 5 minutes since you last put one out, because you go, oh, I'll have a cigarette. Oh, I'll have a cigarette. And that's what he's trying to avoid, because that's what happens on a live. If you're not careful, you just, okay, yeah, I'll have a drink, I'll have a cigarette, I'll have a drink, I'll have a cigarette.
And
it could be 5 minutes while I pull one out?
I've cut out the things like it used to be standard when you've had a meal. The first thing you do after a meal is have a cigarette. So that is force of habit. So that one has to go.
It is all habit. It is all habit. It is all habit. And I totally agree with you. As soon as I finish eating, bang, cigarette.
Yeah.
And I still like to do that, but I am sitting there and I am chain smoking, and I need to do what Roger is doing and make a conscious choice as to whether I want this one or whether I've only just put one out. So I'm trying to do it by looking at the clock. Okay, I'm having a cigarette now, and that's what, when he said, do you want to come down? I said, no, it's only been an hour and a half.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Rob. Sorry,
it's like I worked for 2 months. I worked for 2 months, and I was not allowed to smoke on site, so I gave up smoking for 2 months. It doesn't bother me. I can stop smoking, start smoking, stop smoking, start smoking. It's not like like today I'm having a beer, so I will smoke a lot.
It's literally with me. I mean, yeah, I gave up for 3 years. Oh, quite a few years ago. But I've learned that over my periods in hospital and stuff like that, particularly the other week going down to Simon's, I can be in a non-smoking situation, and it's easier for me to do it in that position. If you can't smoke there, you've got to go outside to smoke, or you've got to go into a separate room to smoke. Then I'd probably just say, fuck it. But after smoking so many years, I do need one now and again, you know.
Yeah, but it's like me at the moment.
Simon doesn't smoke, does he? Simon doesn't smoke, no?
No. And his house is no smoking. But many years ago, we made upstairs no smoking because of our breathing and everything else.
Yeah.
Because I'd wake up in the morning, reach over, light one, have one before I curled over for no.
Yeah.
So
and there's the safety aspect as well.
Because I'm upstairs, actually, I don't want one, which is the strange thing. But I have the same thing if I go to I get to a certain point, obviously, where, no, actually, I want one now. But if I'm in a no smoking environment, it's easier not to want one.
Well, I've been smoking since I was 12 when I started.
Where I am, I'm in the middle of the world. So if I fly to Philippines, it's 8 hours. If I fly to London, it's 8 hours. And so I've got to get on a plane for 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I just go, no problem.
Lost
and that's what I mean.
Yes.
If I'm in a situation where I cannot smoke, so on a train, in somebody else's house that doesn't smoke, it's not an issue. In the office, it wasn't a problem going 3-4 hours sat at the desk without.
Yeah.
Well, the surprising thing is, I mean, I've never made a secret that I was only using the lettuce for my muscular issues. Yes, there is a little bit there now, but not as bad as I thought it was going to be, and I've been coping with it, so I can't see any reason to go back. Red Rain, good evening.
That's one of mine.
Yep, I remember that name. Rob, thank you very much. Yeah, it hasn't been as hard as I thought it was going to be. Yes, I had a bit of a hiccup in the week. I got upset over some personal things. and I probably had about 15, 20 through the day, into the evening as well. Maybe a few more, but it calmed me down. But the next day, I'm back to like, okay, 4, 5.
Yeah.
That's it, And
Well, that's the right attitude. That's the right attitude. You're entitled to be upset for one day, but you not 2 days, not 3 days, not 4 days. You get back on the fucking track. Get back on going.
Simon Sideways. How you doing, buddy?
Oh. I was going to say, what on earth? I need to ask Gary what squeezing is. It's the desk here. I'm sorry about it. It's one of these that's a slide in and out, as you can hear, keyboard mouse thing. But yeah, when I put the keyboard towards the back and I lean on it, and then it squeaks. So
Roger, you animal.
I will say why Simon's in there, guys. If you're looking for his streams and you're only subscribed to his main channel, Reverend Simon Sideways, I don't think there's any streams on there yet still. He's been having problems. So go and subscribe to Rev on Iran, Man Up, Reverend Simon Sideways. Wait, tell you yourself. Look, here he is.
It is.
Got nothing to say.
In front of that thing that terrified me.
Oh, it's just the Rev.
How you doing, buddy?
Having you both there, really. I like this. This works better because having Eva right over in the back, you can't bloody make out much, can you? Because it's all the way back there. So yeah, this works better.
Oh, thank you.
Has she got the control buttons now?
Upstairs, so.
Have I got what? Have I
The
got
control
what?
buttons.
No, I can't kick him out, but he can kick me out.
Oh, it's a relationship
thing
problem.
is,
That,
why
ain't doing
she's
that.
up
You
there.
don't want to do that.
Well, she's up there. She can't throw anything at me.
Yeah, but you can kick her out the tree, but she can kick you out of the bedroom. So I won't fuck about myself.
Yeah, that's. And she's deliberately covered the bed settee in the office. There's no chance of me getting on that.
Well, a lot of it is mother's stuff that I'm trying to get rid of, and it's what do I do with it? And I sort it all out nicely into piles, and then he says, "Oh, I need this," and it's like, "Well, I need to move that," or I come up here, and it's right. I've got to. The piles are up here around me, and it's like, okay, yeah, I've got to move that. I can't show that on camera. It's a dump up here.
There you go, Simon. Holly's put in the links to your other channels in there for you, mate.
Pause. Yes.
I take it the main one's still down.
I haven't tried it. It is what it is, isn't it?
I get 3 notifications every week. I get 3 notifications when it's the Simon sermon or Sunday sermon.
Sunday sermon, yeah.
Yeah, I get that, and I get 3 notifications. I go, well, which one am I going to watch? So I go, I'll watch that one, and then you're commenting on other channels, and I go, shit, I'm watching the wrong one.
And what happens is because you go through StreamYard here, if you put one comment out, it goes out to all 3. But what I would have done was go with the one that's got the most amount of numbers, because you'll be able to see all the comments on there. But what you won't be able to see is the comments from all 3 streams, which is what I see here. It's not ideal, but you've got to play with what you're given it, you really. And if they take away your live streaming from one channel, you go somewhere else.
Rev on a Rant has been building nicely since you've been streaming on there.
Yeah, that's what I've been logging on to. Rev on a Rant is what I've been working on.
Yeah, that's the only one I can live. Well, it's the only one that's big enough to live on that you'll get people watching. So, but yeah,
we've got Andy Red Volvo in the chat. Good afternoon, mate. He's very active on the channel, but unfortunately doesn't always comment a lot because he's on the road in the truck. But nice to see you in here, Andy. Welcome, mate.
Yeah, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, Rev, that picture you posted earlier on of the pickup.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a new one or is that the older one?
That's the old one with a bit of rainwater on it, washed.
Oh, no.
Are you selling? Are you going to sell it? Or are you going to keep it?
Yeah, it's spares a repair, so.
The number plate, I thought it was another one, and the number plate was clearly visible on there.
I don't give a fuck. Come around my house. You know what I mean? Fuck yeah. Get worried about being doxed is the only thing that they've got on you. So I just say, come round, enjoy the welcome.
Well, they've got you marked anyway, ain't they, sir?
Yeah, They're my day. We crack on.
And because you're on here, that means I am as well. I don't give a fuck. I've been marked for years.
I've got a few people that came in. They bounced into the fucking Discord and bounced out fairly quickly. And there's a number of them at the moment that are, oh, we're gonna have fun with you the weekend. Yes, of course you are, love. You know.
I saw
Yeah,
what
bring it on.
in there. I was
Bring it on. No problem.
And they demand that you let them in and run your show, and if you don't, they'll destroy you. It's like, fuck off your weapon. You really are a weapon. You couldn't run a bar successfully, you fuck. So
I don't know how long you've been in here, but Smiler dropped in. Now,
I was
don't
on
really have a
Smiler's stream.
problem with Smiler, but with the type of channel he runs and the people that follow him about, I don't want him in here. So
if Smiley came on his own and just commented, that's one thing. But I went on his stream earlier on because there was a guy on there, Chris the Brick. Now, I don't really know Chris the Brick at all. Apparently, he'd come on mine and stuff like that, and he was going, "You have to come and talk to me." Almost like, I demand it. It's like, mate, who are you?
I don't have to
Yeah,
do
mate.
fuck all.
Well, I had fun and slaughtered him in the comments, right? And then some coloured guy went on there. It was interesting, and he was so subtle the way he was trolling that it was going right over the Brick's head. And I went, "I have some fun here," and jumped on, and they just absolutely fucking slaughtered the Brick. But it's one of those. That channel is all about EastEnders nationalism and drama, right? That's all it's about. So as long as you can not take it personally and abuse the living shit out of the bloke on the panel opposite you, and he does the same, but you know your limits, that's one thing. But a lot of people seem to take it all to heart, and then they want to start posting details of each other, and go, fuck that.
Yeah, well, I did before I blocked him. I did apologise. I said sorry, but this is the reason I'm doing it. You know the way I run my streams. Now, when, like you, I mean, what did we have on last weekend? There was over 1,000 on there, wasn't there?
Mm.
So you can let those in the chat destroy the ones that are being a pain.
Yes, off you go.
But when you've only got 30 to 50 in the stream,
Me and
when
Holly
it
will
starts, it gets out of control. So I'd just rather have them out of the way to start with.
Yeah.
You got me and Holly. We can kill them off.
Yeah, Mrs. W and Holly. I was just thinking that myself. So Mrs. W and Holly will assassinate anyone.
Well, it'll be an interesting weekend this weekend because they're all going to come on and try their best because they've already said
Ooh,
that's
we shall
what
be
they're
there.
doing. And I'm like, good.
I still got a spanner in there as well, haven't I?
Yeah, so there are a certain few that have been turned away. That we've got spy accounts in there. Yeah, that's the whole purpose. You can look, but don't touch. All the time people are having fun, you can't participate. All the time people are commenting and sharing stuff, you have to stay there like a deaf, dumb mute and do fuck all. The reason why?
Has anyone actually considered this might be GCHQ?
I would say that in everything that you do when you get to a certain level, like Roger be on the radar now. Sorry, Roger. You poke your head above the parapet for a little while, but because Rog is a lot more moderated in here, I don't think they would work. They wouldn't try too much because they'll last one comment and get their ass bounced out.
Yeah.
So, but with like the Wild West, which is what I kind of run some days, they'll stay in there. The first thing they'll do stuff like, we can't hear your mic or your levels are low. All this stuff is to try and erode your confidence while you're live streaming and take your mind off the topic that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So unless your usual people are commenting to you, we can't hear you, or it's out, do not listen to anybody else because it could well be a detractor. So that's what I've learned. But they do a lot of obvious stuff. But yeah, I would say that, I mean, there is an intelligence war working against anybody who doesn't fit a narrative. And
Oh God, yeah.
going forward, well, you know, we're in a we're in a war of words and of ideals. And yeah, they'll do anything to either discredit us, take us off, fuck up.
Ofcom are still working on how they can use and abuse the
Well, we've got more
online
powers.
hate speech thing, the online safety bill.
Well, that's fine. We'll make our own language up between ourselves that they can't prove. And the moment
The
they
only
start making that out, we'll make another language up.
But the only reason why I mentioned that is the fact that in last week you had on BBC Two, you had Night Watch, which was a thing totally attacking the UAE. You had 4 articles in the. I live in Dubai, so I mean I pick up on this stuff. You had 4 articles in major newspapers, the Guardian, the all of the major boys, turning around and attacking the UAE this week. And these boys don't run unless there's a government narrative. You understand?
Yeah, but they've also got to put up an opposition. Like, say, for instance, we believed in GB News to start with. We thought this looks good.
Yeah.
And they'll always put something that looks like it's for us, get us involved, make us trust the characters and all the rest of it. And they'll have some that are rogue. That is to say, they're like, tell the truth and they don't follow what they're told to by the editor. And they'll get slowly weeded out. So the first person, Andrew Neil. Andrew Neil.
Did you see what was put in Discord? Don't say anything about it.
What is that? What I wrote in there, or
No.
Oh, yeah.
This is in a little private Discord.
But yeah, if you look at things like, is it Andrew Neil? He went over
And
to GB,
he walked and he ran. So he ran. You know?
and that would say to me there was something wrong there. But yeah, they've been a lot of them, and now they're starting to go narrative. And when they put, like, the thing that really strikes me is they put out a weather report, and below they put it 3 weeks of hard snow, just like all the rest of the fucking legacy media do. And you're like, you're nothing more than legacy media. You're paid opposition. But the only fucking truth news that we have out there are the Paul Joseph Watsons, all the smaller channels. I mean, people don't like Sargon of Akkad because he sits on like as a centrist. But if he's telling the truth, he's telling the truth. But a lot of these big ones that we look at, they're paid opposition, and it's a real shame.
Yeah, and a lot of them.
Well, I posted a picture today. I posted a picture today of a weather forecast in 1982,
In Greens.
33 degrees, and then a weather forecast of today where it was all yellow and red, and it's only 27.
Scotcho. Yeah. It's all fucking good, isn't it? Yeah.
So I posted that about 3 months ago.
I know I'm late on parade. I told you I've been busy.
If you go back and start looking at, say, for instance, TV in the 80s and the 90s, start looking for all the symbolism in there and all the subtle programming. It's fucking mental. And you wouldn't be able to watch it without going, look, they were doing it then. But I would say that learning what we've learned is a gift and a curse. You will never look at life the same. You don't trust things because you can't, because you realize that from the moment you were spat out, you were lied to all the way through everything you were given.
Yep.
Like, so play group, you were taught things, like, and then up through all the school and stuff like that. Yeah, shit. And then we're given a version of history that it turns out was either doctrinated or fucking complete for work of fiction. We were told to make enemies or believe that people were evil from different countries, when actually you look at them, who attacked them, who went in and robbed them for their oil, who went in and did this, and you start thinking, remember that clip where you see that Nazi person who goes, we're the enemies. Yeah, we're the bad guys. And you start looking at yourself going, we're not, but our government, the American government, the French government, the German government, our government, they all work together and they do some evil things around the world. And you think, no wonder why we're hated.
Well, it's like that one I was talking about when I first came on. The MP that resigned because he's worried now about his safety because he gets threats and there's been an arson attack. Well, why? Why are you frightened? You help create this fucking society. And now you're frightened of it.
Not just that. You have people like Ari Neve wandering around back in the day who actually had a credible threat from the IRA and got blown up by them, but they didn't bottle out.
No. And he was one of the ones that escaped from one of the POW camps.
It wasn't Auschwitz.
No, it was the Vaulting Horse one, where they dug the tunnel under the Vaulting Horse.
Yeah, because he had his teeth smashed out and everything. Colditz, that was it. He escaped twice from there, and he ended up being the one that served the papers from the British on some of the Nazis. Do you
know another thing about him after the war?
Well,
he was the MP for the town I was born in.
He was the one that remodeled Thatcher because he said she got a fucking screechy, whiny voice. So they had to work on a voice and a stance and everything else.
Yeah, he was Abingdon's MP in Berkshire, as it was back then.
And
well, then you know he was that bloody good. That's it. Now you know why the IRA hit him.
Well, he would have died the night before, but he decided he'd had a few beers and got a taxi home. So the car was left there till the next day.
Actually went to the private school where my mother was the chef at.
Yeah, mind you, they were
Where are
different.
those people now? Where are those people now? Where are those characters now? We
Yeah.
need those people to run this country. We need those people to break out of fucking colditz. We need those people to turn around and run and work in the parliament. We need people to remodel, turn around and imagine Harry Neve with Sinek. What would he say? What would he do? What would his spirit fucking say to Sunak? Sorry for swearing, Mrs. W. I apologise.
I couldn't say what he would say because there's terms and agreements, so we can't. Yeah. But I would love to have it. You know, you have like a dream team of football. Wouldn't you like to get a dream team of politicians and bring them back? Imagine that. On my side, I feel Thatcher. And you go on like that, and there's so many people who go, "Oh, but Thatcher did this and all that." Fucking what's his name did that? Yes, they did. But if they saw what was going on now, and they saw the people they were serving a bit back then, they'd hate them and change. Personally, I believe that or whatever. But yeah, you were asking where the people are. Most of them have been brain drained out through the meat grinder that's schooling these days. Mm-hmm. Some of them are so tied down by debt and terrified that if they speak out, they're going to lose everything, and they're desperately clinging on to whatever they have left. And the rest of us are far right.
Oh, yeah, we're all far right because we're against the narrative.
I'm proud to be called every name they sling at me.
That's what I said earlier. I said, if they want to brand me that, fucking brand me it. I don't give a shit.
You know, if I've got a tattoo on my arm for every name they called me, I'd have to use both arms and probably some of my legs.
Good evening, Beardy. Hope you're well, mate. Roland Rat. Yeah.
Hello to everybody in the chat. Sorry, I've not been watching it, but I can't do two things at once.
Yeah, I struggle. And what I try to do is get the two screens together with the bit there in a size I can see the chat. But I do miss a lot in there. But luckily enough, that's where the good lady comes in. She keeps an eye on it.
Oh, okay.
She can multitask.
She's fact checker. She's fact checker. If we talk bullshit, she'll say, no.
This is why these podcasts sat around a table work, don't they? You've got some bloke running the computer, highlighting some of the comments. You'll have a big screen that all of you can see, like one behind each of you, right? And then you can all talk and look over the shoulder and see the comments and then highlight the comments there. But this is just fucking, my eyesight's not what it was either.
You and me both, mate.
Well, Roger was saying earlier, he said it's like walking into the NASA space station when he looked at your kit, because you've got two roads, haven't you? You've got two roads pros now.
It's a little bit.
Guess who sat in the back room?
Hello.
Hello.
Angry Murder Midget.
Angry Murder Midget in the house. How are you doing, sweetheart?
How you doing, darling?
How is it, Lofty?
I'm good. I'm okay.
Been to any far right protests lately, you fascist?
Only with you. I'm now on a list now because I went with you.
Sorry, guys. Resist. He's not an asylum seeker. He was granted asylum after he'd been done for sexual assault and exposing himself. They gave him.
Didn't he have to? Are we talking about
this is how he's done it now?
We talking about that acid bloke, the one that
yeah.
He was a Christian.
He got rejected twice. Arrived on a truck, got rejected twice. Did a sexual assault, exposed himself to someone else. The police then gave him a reference because he said, "I'm a Christian." So this technically is a Christian attack.
Can you imagine what they sat him down? Look, you've got to think big here. Think big. You're not doing it right, okay? Pretend you're a Christian. Go out there and do something really terrible that you can get on you. But like many of these things, they're so fucking stupid that they're. I mean, the IQ that was probably that of. I got spare tires that have got better IQ.
Well, you look at the way the police dealt with it. This guy is dangerous. Stay away from him. But left it a day before they even gave a description of him.
Better still, give him to some football lads and leave it to them. That'd be fine.
Yeah, he'd allow
that's Britain's army. That's Britain's army.
On his face.
Yeah,
that's Britain's army. You think about it.
Resist it, and the police didn't do themselves any favours by the way they've handled it.
What, that little Polish girl, the immigrant?
No, the guy who did the acid attack.
I was talking about the Tobber. I thought we were talking about the
it was a corrosive substance at the moment. But they raided his brother's place. Somebody said they've raided a few other places looking for him. So basically, what people were saying, he's hiding in a mosque somewhere.
By the CCTV footage I've seen of him, that was pretty fucking corrosive.
My
Yeah,
heart bleeds purple piss for him. It really does.
I really do hope that was some of it that got into his eye and his face
Oh,
itself, because he'd
I
be in
think it
so
will.
much pain, and I'd love to think that.
Yeah,
Shouldn't
good
really
level
say
of
that,
fucking-
but sorry, darling.
I really do think it is
Yeah.
where he's tried to throw it at her. She's knocked his face,
it's
his
gone
hand
like that.
away, and it's gone straight in his
And
face.
that's why he's trying to run her over.
But he now can't go and get medical help in a hospital or whatever, because he'll be straight to jail, not pass go, not collect £200.
Not just
Well,
like
the police raided the hospital today, didn't they? They raided the hospital today because of some guy with a machete. So I didn't know whether that was connected or not.
Oh, is that what
No,
it was?
that's
Right.
another issue that's been going on.
the fact that we're talking about this like it's now normal is insane, isn't it?
That's-
It's actually really disturbing.
And
Yeah,
why
a
has
human can get used to
mainstream
anything.
media- they'll quite happily put out an attack like that. But what about the other 50 stabbings by them that have happened today? You won't hear nothing about that on mainstream.
Years ago, you get one alcoholic that used to actually go. I went to the same school as him, but we won't go on to that. And he was a local in West, and he went over to Cardiff, and he was so sick of it because they're pretty rampant over in Cardiff that he decided he was going to go up and do an attack in London. Got that wrong, and just drove into a load of people in a mosque, and somebody died of a heart attack. And that's as good as our alcoholic right can do. Not that I endorse it and wouldn't fucking encourage it, by the way. Got to clear that up for any fuck.
Oh no, you can't.
Just for
do anything
YouTube.
illegal.
Not for any
For
reason.
legal purposes, this is a joke.
Well, it isn't just that. Yeah, don't take anything I say seriously or anybody else. No, I mean, that doesn't gain your movement, your ideals, your anything, any credibility at all. You don't sink to their levels. And, you know, what they're doing at the moment is showing everybody what we've already told people, what we want them. And their own side aren't holding them to account. If their own side went, here's where he lives, here's where he prays, this is who he is, this is what he does, nick him. If they did
But
that,
the thing is, if somebody was professed to be a Christian, a proper Christian, they wouldn't do an attack like that, would they?
No.
he's as Christian as that Ford Transit out there is a Vauxhall. Right? Just fuck two
I
times.
just love the way you pick your words like that.
No, it's just what it is. Isn't it? I mean, fucking hell.
And I'll tell you what, guys, he doesn't need to be on screen to be like this. He's exactly like that in
Yeah, this
person.
is me, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. This is
If you
weird.
see some of the shit he came out with in the pub, he had us in hysterics.
So drunk, I cannot remember.
Yeah, oh, I do.
This is, yeah,
Wankers.
he's been sober, but this is why somebody goes, "Oh, you remember? I was on your stream." I went, "If it was that night, I'd had about 15 pints, mate. I can't remember fuck all."
Oh, it was funny, I got to admit.
Well,
It-
the
it's-
next thing is a meeting, isn't it? On that, the next Tommy event, I'm going to try and get together a load of people after the Tommy event, meet up somewhere, and we'll all have a drink and stuff. So yeah,
Dronophobic, welcome to the channel. I haven't seen your name before. Welcome.
Sister Banhammer's in there.
oh,
Is she? Oh,
The
she is.
Banhammer.
Oh, hello, sweetheart. Sorry, I didn't see you there, and you're right above him.
I did throw over a link, you see. So
Oh, cheers,
Thank you
mate.
very
So,
much,
yeah,
Simon.
keep your eye on the chats, mod. Mods. We
Yeah.
can get anybody in there.
no, I only put it in Discord. So.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
Dronophobic. Yeah, the print on that looks interesting. I had a few people with the same sort of print like that. I've got a few of them following me around at the moment. They're this sort of the ones I was telling you about earlier on, and they're interesting. To keep the,
Apparently, he has got a channel. He's put some videos out. So, like I say, I'm unless I know the name and they're connected with anybody, they get booted. If it's a new name in, then okay, we'll see how we go. If the guy works out and he joins in and no offense meant, dronophobic, but if he turned out to be a right dickhead, he'd be gone. But,
Not one of
Everybody is
Not one of
welcome.
mine.
and I didn't aim that at you, Drone. It's
What?
just that's the way I operate the channel. No,
What's the
appreciate it.
beware of wrinkles? Which one of those? Who aimed at that at who? I resemble that remark. All right.
Smells like
We're all old. We're old.
I've actually got to say that if you want to actually see everything that is wrong with Britain at the moment, just go and watch the Sky News press preview for Friday, and listen to the commentators on that. And seriously, you'll see everything is wrong. The Sky News press preview for Friday, and you listen to it, and they've even turned the comments off because they knew the vitriol they'd get.
it's.
I think they've turned the comments
I'm a
off
good
and everything now,
Christian
'cause
and
they're
I haven't
different.
raped or killed anybody this week so far. Yeah, but you are actually a vicar, so mind you, that wouldn't make a lot of difference from some churches.
No.
But
Not
When
with
you
me.
call yourself a vicar, you've got to give penance, and you've got to give forgiveness.
well, believe it or not, I was actually confirmed a Roman Catholic.
So am I. I'm a Roman candle.
I'm
Reason
converted.
being is obviously you've got to go through confirmation before you can get married in the eyes of the Roman Catholic Church.
So you've got to do your catechism. You've got to do everything. Yeah.
Although I don't do religion, I've never bothered with religion, but because we actually got married in church, this is my wife from years ago, I had to be confirmed first. And before you can be confirmed, you've got to take confession.
Yep.
So
That's why I love the Catholic Church.
I went in and did the usual shit. Yeah, I've sinned, this, that, and the other. It's been 4 months since my last confession, with the fact that I'd never been in there before in my life. So I thought it'd be appropriate to confess to lying.
I'm going to jump off for a while.
Forgive
I'm
me,
gonna be back
Father,
in a
for
bit.
I sin. Forgive me, Father, for I
Yeah,
sin.
no problem, sorry.
No worries, mate.
I got to find my mouse now. See you in a bit.
Bye. And then when it actually came to the thing, you have to pick a saint that you follow.
Yes.
And you have to give your reason why.
Yes.
I said, well, I picked St. Peter. And the vicar said, well, why are you picking him? And I said, because he's a clever bastard. He can walk on water.
Wrong, but not bad. Wrong, but not bad. Picking
I
him
don't
walk
know
on-
where. I don't even know where I'd start if I had to bloody confess my sins. I'd be there for the next probably
Oh, they'd
40
have to.
years.
Look, the great thing about the Catholic Church, is that you can walk, you can do whatever you want. I could go and kill someone today. I could go and turn around. I could rape someone today. I could do this, do that, and I could walk into confession at the end of the week. Forgive me, Father. I've done this. I've done that. I've done that, and I've done that. Okay, go outside and do 10 Hail Marys and 20 and this and this and this and this, and we forgive you. What?
I mean, I've had Christians say, oh, well, Jesus died for your sins. I said, no, he didn't.
Oh.
And they say, how do you work that he died for everybody's sins? I said, no, he didn't. He never had near enough fucking pain to die for mine.
Well,
Nailed to a cross. Fuck all.
My argument has always been that look, Jesus was prevalent in what 13 AC BC rather. Sorry, so and
Shit, he's dead, mate.
the Romans actually created the Catholic Church. The Romans created the Catholic Church. But if there is an entity, why hasn't he come back? Because Jesus, we need him now.
Well, this was my argument. If everybody professes their God to be good, now I'm not knocking religion here. I don't normally talk about
No, we don't talk religion. I know we don't talk religion, but I'm saying
every
that
religion there is professes their God to be good, whichever one it is.
well, where is he?
Would a good God let what's happening in the world today happen? No.
It's
I mean,
it's
look
out
at-
there. It's out there on YouTube and lots of other places probably. Stephen Fry did an interview, and he said basically, at the end of the day, I wouldn't if the things that God has done, the children with sicknesses and everything else, if there is a God and that is how he thinks we should be living, I ain't going into. I'll go to hell. I don't.
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to
yeah. No, I
use it.
agree. I agree.
I've always said,
He was far more
I-
eloquent.
just because I don't do religion, if somebody's getting some sort of solace out of it, or they feel better for being part of it, and I don't mean the ones that go out and deliberately fucking kill people and run of the mill religions, then fine, it's their choice. If they're getting some out of it, good on them.
I run my life by the Ten Commandments,
I run myself by morals.
and that's the Ten Commandments. Those
Okay,
are
yeah, I
basic
let
morals.
them lapse at times, but we won't go into
Every
that.
now and again, we drop a bollock. But what's to say?
I live by the Ten Commandments. Well, most of them anyway, and I try to be loving and accepting of everybody,
Exactly.
regardless of colour,
Exactly.
creed, everything else.
Yeah.
Yep.
It doesn't matter to me what you are, what religion you are, what race you are. If I like you, I like you. If I don't
Show
like
me,
you,
show me your
I am
heart. Show
not-
me your soul. Show me your heart. Show me your soul. I'll know you in 2 seconds.
The thing is that you
Mhm.
don't need to be religious to be a good person, and a lot of people will say they're so religious, but they're asshats.
Oh, trust me, I know.
I worked with a woman who insisted you had to go to church every week to be a good Christian. And I'm like, no, it's about living life as a good Christian and not being the main bitch that you are. She didn't like
Yeah.
it.
Well,
She went to
two
church
thirds, isn't it?
every week, but was a right bitch in person.
Breaking
Yeah.
news: the police have appealed to Abdul what's his face to give himself up.
Oh, what a fucking police force that is then.
They're now saying
Well,
that
Sorry,
it
sorry,
was
ladies.
an alkali liquid, so I would say it's probably bleach.
I've said
cleaner.
alkali all along, darling. One of my
Yeah.
first
No,
comments.
but look at his face though. But look at his face though. That was a bit more than bleach. I'm telling you that.
No, it's more than bleach, but it's an alkali rather than an acid, but it can do
Acid,
just
yeah.
as much damage.
Yeah, it can do. Yeah. I looked at his face today and I went, fucking hell, boy, you fucked up.
I forgot I can do this. Hang on, where are we? I forgot all about that little button. That means a bit more multitasking, but you got to go, Rob. All right, mate. Thank you for dropping in. It is appreciated, buddy. I know you're an active person on the channel. I do know where you hide sometimes, but you know, you don't bring any of that to here, so you're more than
Can I
welcome.
say I've missed you all? I've missed you all.
Well,
We're that sort of people, aren't we? You know.
Yeah,
that's because we're fucking awesome.
it's just because it's an easy Friday, isn't it? It's just a lovely Friday. It's just a nice, relaxed Friday. It's
Well, that's why I always bill it as like a catch up between friends going into the weekend.
Yeah.
So we can all have a chat. We chat about what's going on in the week, and then you go off into your weekend and do whatever. You know.
do your thing. Do your thing.
Yeah. It's. I mean, I class, as I said earlier, a lot of the people in here are just friends I haven't met yet. The ones that I have met, absolutely wonderful people. You know, it wasn't just Rev down there that weekend. Obviously, there was a few others. There was Mr. Grumpy. Who else? We had Brody. Quite a few others. Winston Taxes. He was another one that came in. And again, they're people I've met that now I know more about them when I'm online. If I'm chatting to them online or on a stream anywhere,
Yeah.
I can give a person. I can see a personality, not just a name.
Yes, I understand. Yeah, I know what you mean.
You
Yeah.
know? I mean, the way sort of us three here and Dan interact, it doubled the way we always got on well anyway, but it took it to another level when we all met.
Of course. Oh,
And now we've met several times over the last couple of years. It's even better. you know.
Is this the second one you've been to, isn't it?
No, that was second time.
Third time.
First
And
time
did you
this
enjoy
year
Mrs.
because
W?
his birthday's later in the year, but we went to both birthdays the last 2 years.
Oh, I remember the birthday. Sorry, yeah, the birthday and the live stream. Yeah, that's it. But did you enjoy Miss W?
I did. Yeah, sorry, I'm looking to see if I could actually find out what it might have been that was used.
It could have been a drain cleaner because that stuff is very corrosive.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Caustic soda. Caustic soda is one of the most common.
Even brick acid, although they call it an acid, it isn't actually an acid. It's an alkali.
It was something. I think it was drain cleaner.
Well, I mean, some of the stuff we used to use in the tannery, I mean, hydrochloric acid, industrial strength.
Oh, bloody hell!
I mean,
That's
just
serious. That's serious.
The fumes from that will take you out. Ammonia was another one, full industrial strength ammonia. There was another one, sulfuric. We didn't use as much as that, but the hydrochloric acid, we were carting around in sealed 5-gallon plastic drums. You know, we had to make sure the lids were clipped. Obviously, if you dropped it, splashed it, full protection gear, breather, because the fumes just take all the oxygen out of your lungs. And that's how I learned about dangerous substances, literally.
Yeah, like me as well. I used to run the confined space rescue team for Thames Water for a number of years when I came out of the army, and we had to do all of this analysis on what's going on, and you got methane in the thing, and because how it came about was there were so many people going in to just clean out drains, and they were dying.
Hello.
They couldn't figure out why they were dying, and it's all the methane.
Oh, it's Matt. Good evening, Matt. Sorry, mate, I didn't see your name go up there. I just saw Holly say hello to you. Who else we got in the chat then? I'll be knocking bells. Hell's back door.
So I built a truck.
Do you want a shortcut, Gary? I found it last time.
That's all right. Like I said in the chat earlier, when I get down there, I'm taking over, so there'll be no need to knock. I'll just let you in.
Yeah.
I
Just be
know.
free for all.
A Lost Souls is just waiting in the background to take over from us infidels.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Holly will be there before you. I'm sure of it.
Oh, I don't know about that. The way I live my life.
I'll be there to welcome all of you.
Make sure you get a pot of tea on.
You know, I'll turn the heating down just to get acclimatized and then turn it back up. But it's no good going upstairs, is it? Because they're all virgins up there, and that's the way they stay. So let's go to hell where they party, man.
No. Actually, I want to apply to be an angel.
Good luck with that.
How does anyone become an angel? No one tells you how to become an angel. So I want to become an angel.
When you get to the conditions that my body's in, a highway to hell is far better proposition than a stairway.
I didn't actually specify the colour of the wings.
I was going to say, I think it's a job you apply for when you get there.
Do you apply or are you selected?
Well, one or the other.
Ah.
But
I
don't think anybody alive
away at the gate.
But if you look at the yin yang of life, there has to be black and white. So I don't care what colour wings I have.
But I don't think anybody alive knows how to become an angel. Otherwise they would do it, and they wouldn't be alive.
Well, you're my angel.
Oh,
Lost Souls, we love you.
Oh my God, you two are adorable.
Heartfelt.
he's such a soppy sod. He really is.
Only off
Hansel
camera.
Hansel and Gretel.
You two are relationship goals, I tell you.
We try to be. We have our ups and downs.
We're like anybody. We have our ups and downs. But at the end of the day, we lived quite a long time looking for the right person, and eventually met. And it's what we say to people who are younger and single, and that somebody is out there for you. I mean, we were nearly 50 when we got together. So, yeah.
And we both
Honestly, can I
through
comment on that?
relationships in the past as well.
Can I comment on just what you just said there? I speak to my best mate from school every day. I have done for years. So every day she rings me. She's gone through so much trouble. She's gone through so much. Gone through everything like that. And she just rings me and just talks. And I literally just, talk. And I let her listen. I listen. And then I say, right, okay, you need to do this, do that, do that, do that. And she goes, okay, I'll crack on. That's gone on for, I'm 57 now. This has been going on for 30, 40 years. Every day she just sort of rings me, do this, do that, do that. When you find your right person, your soulmate, you'll know it.
You'll usually find them better if you're not looking.
Well, we weren't. Neither of us was looking for a relationship.
Exactly.
We
You'll
bumped
just
into one another. A mutual friend introduced us. We stood there talking about life, the universe, and everything. He invited me round to his place, and he would cook for me. He asked me if I wanted him to walk him. He asked if he could walk me home.
Yep.
I said, it's all right, look, I've got a car. He says, oh, good, I'll get a lift then.
There you go.
Well,
Humour.
what it was, I noticed she was limping. At the time, I didn't know what the issue was. I didn't know she'd had a hip replacement. So I just said, would you like me to walk you home so you got an arm to hang on to? And she said, no, I'm all right. I got my car and are you all right for a lift home then?
So
I'll
I
give you an idea.
about actually giving him a lift, and then he said he'd got some very nice, very old Jack Daniels at home, and if I went back with him, we could carry on our conversation over a drink.
See, I bribed my winning. Oh, tilt.
Murph just... Ow, my fucking head, Murph. Jesus Christ, you dropped me on my head.
Sorry. I've got my wife was ringing me. She's annoying me.
It is actually true as well, Sean.
100%.
It is actually true.
I'd actually gone to the pub. I was in a band at the time, and we couldn't get a reply from the drummer as to whether he could make a rehearsal. So we knew where he'd be. So I went up to the pub to go, oi, do we book this rehearsal or are you busy? And this bugger was up there. I wish he'd have answered that text.
Well, I might just become a lesbian instead. It's probably going to be easier.
Why?
It's an exploratory experience. It's an exploratory experience. Just follow your path, and then once you get to our age, you will actually turn around and you will see that life is simple. Don't make it difficult.
But it doesn't matter whether it's another woman or a man. When you find them, you will know.
You will know.
They will know.
I'm going to collect dogs then. I'll just get dogs.
Now,
Sorry?
please do not think that we're pushing you to become lesbian. We're not. What we're saying is you will know when you meet that right person.
And all you've got to do is hit them around the head with a big stick a few times till they do what you want, and then you end up with the perfect partner. Okay?
Yeah, no, instead.
Oh,
That's
seen
why
that
I
video.
posted that clip earlier.
if you don't start collecting Jack Russells,
Chihuahuas.
101 chihuahuas.
no
Chihuahuas.
chihuahuas, no
I've
chihuahuas,
got one chihuahua.
none of these small little toy dogs that are just Jack Russells.
I've already got one chihuahua. I may as well add to the collection.
Well, then buy a Jack Russell, and he can then use the Chihuahua as his sex toy.
Oh God, no!
Yeah, bring it home, rats.
I don't think your chihuahua would be too happy with that.
That's rather
No.
nice.
I think
He doesn't even He doesn't even like it when I move the bloody furniture around in the living room. For fuck's sake! It's like, oh my god, you've changed something. Little autistic dog, bless him.
OMG. Women and small dogs.
The neighbours have got a Jack Russell.
Is that something to do with the 6 inches? I'm just wondering.
6 inches? Who's got one that big?
The line.
Me.
Yeah, exactly. The line. This is 6 inches, baby.
Give us a thumbs up. Sean, cheers, darling.
That's
Hello.
why women can't park. Hi,
Hello.
Sean.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
How are you doing?
I think I've recovered from my hangover now.
I'm starting.
Jenny says hi.
Well, I'm going to appear in the back corner over there again in a minute because I'm going downstairs for a cigarette.
Are you coming down for a fag? Are you?
I am.
Paranormal Channel
I am.
X. Hello.
Okie dokie,
I'll be in the
Mama
chat
Bear.
in a minute. Let me phone.
Mama Bear.
Move that across so people can see you when you're there. Look. Don't forget to drop out of the panel. Thank you. How are you doing, Lost Paranormal? Not Holly, the other one. She's like she does promote my channel. I'll give her that. And
I know. I listen to her. I am subscribed, and I do listen to her every now and again. She's too intelligent for me.
Yeah, I mean, I wish there'd be a lot more people go over and subscribe to her. But don't take it to heart, sweetheart. It's took me 3 years to get to the level this channel has. What's my
No, I like her. She's got intelligent conversation. She has a really intelligent conversation. She turns around and advocates women's rights and is very angry with her ex-bosses, which I like a little bit of anger every now and again. So she turns around and she says, oh, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do that, I'll do that, I'll do that, I'll do that. And then she calms down and talks rationality. Have I insulted you enough already?
Forget what?
Sean.
Hey. Sorry, guys. I'm just concentrating on something here. Right, I'm just going to mute myself out a minute because I want to ask Heather something. Oh, shit. Stay. Sorry, I nearly booted myself out the fucking studio then instead of moving.
Bravo. Well done. Slow clap. Oh, bloody hell. Are you all right then, Sean?
Yeah, I'm fine. I got a bit angry on the stream the other night.
Why?
Because we were having a conversation, if I remember right, about women's issues. I deal with women's stuff.
I'm back.
Myself. I got the other night.
I can't. I think somebody else who's got background noise because it's bleeding over Sean.
Not me.
Not me. Murph sometimes got a fan on.
Yeah, it does sound a bit like wind.
I'll mute myself for a second.
There you go. Try that, Sean. Oh no, hang on.
Tins, not tons. Lose your wings. If you're hearing breathing, Stuart, that might well be down to me, mate.
Probably me as well.
My chest is very, very raspy at the moment. And it's not through smoking. It's
Lost in the area now?
Hey,
Ollie? Ollie was complaining about ambient noise because Sean couldn't speak.
Try again, Sean.
Sir.
It sounds like you're clipping. Your microphone's starting after you say your first word.
I'll come back in.
No problem.
Good evening, Tony. Welcome, mate. We're only going to be going for about another half an hour, but welcome. Okay, Holly. Thank you, darling.
That's the usual one that he always uses.
Yeah. Okay. No, it just seemed a bit weird, you know.
Yeah,
Ollie, can
no,
you-
I get it.
Yeah.
Ollie, can you hear any ambient noise now?
Sorry. I thought.
No, I could earlier though.
You could
Yeah,
just.
because I've got a night market. I've got a night market just down the road here, and they have live bands every night on over the weekend. So you would have probably done.
It keeps coming back on. I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. Don't panic.
No, that's good. Yeah.
No, that's fine. Thank you.
Yeah, I can hear it now. It's like a whooshing noise.
Yeah, that's traffic. I live in Dubai. It's a pain in the ass.
Go out there and tell them all to stop driving.
If I go out there and tell them to all stop driving, I have to go military, and it's not what they want me to do.
You want to try again, Sean? See if it's any better.
Right, is that better?
That's a lot better. There you go. You're in the
A
house.
lot better.
I was messing about with my settings. Sorry about that.
That's all right. That's all right. I have to adjust mine every time I turn the microphone on, because for some reason it will not hold its settings. So I'll go on like Discord on a VC, and then come back to YouTube, and the settings have all changed again. It just seems to reset itself. What is Tony saying? Why are you saying sorry, Tony? What have you done? I've been a bit late. It's no problem, mate. It's not, you know,
Welcome.
you don't have to be in it
Are you allowed to go for a pint?
just because I don't. And the other thing is, you got to remember that I'm indoors all the time, more or less. So I don't go to the pub or.
And
do
Mrs. W in station now. Mrs. W in station.
Oh, yeah. My techie support in the background. My camera.
Yeah, tech support.
My settings are all over the place when I come down there.
Yeah, it probably when you shut it down, all the settings change again, don't they? Oh God, Angela Rayner's on here bleating about some. Oh God, horrible woman.
There we go. I can see everybody properly now.
You sorted. Did you turn the one off upstairs, or is it
No,
still?
it's still on, but I've dropped out the stream now.
Okie dokie. So, dronophobic, you're new to the channel. I see by your channel that you do a bit of drone work. Or you've got a picture of a drone on there anyway. There's an A in that,
Okay,
Tony.
then.
You've had too many points. Rainer the Ginger Minja. Yeah. I mean, I like red hair. I don't have a problem with red hair. I just have a problem when it's on her. But in fairness, I mean, she does come out with some decent ideas. But I think her ultimate goal is to get rid of Starmer and take over Labour herself. I think that's her target.
Oh, that's her ambition. That's her ambition. She wants to be the Prime Minister.
Yeah. And it looks like there's a lot of people now that want Sunak gone in his own party.
I think she'd do a much better job.
Be careful what you wish for there, Mrs. W. Be careful what you wish for. I think she's red in here and red in heart.
It's like people said, oh, Rog for Prime Minister. I wouldn't have a fucking clue where to start in a job like that. I'll be honest.
I think she'd be a great Prime Minister. Because she'll take it to them. She'll take it to anyone.
So Holly said her StreamYard's for. Is that on your iPad, Holly? Yeah, she's frozen.
Yeah, she'll catch up.
Yeah. But I mean, Claire Rayner, I do like her. I like her. I think she's a good woman, a fair woman. But I wonder about her politics at times. She's articulate. She can turn around. She can hold her ground. I mean, she stood in for Starmer on many a times and made Sunak look like a complete prick.
Dronophobic has put that perfectly. If I was PM, it wouldn't matter because they tell you what to do anyway. Absolutely perfect.
Exactly. Yeah.
Those of us that are old enough saw Yes Minister.
You can put a Rizzler hair between Labour and Conservative at the moment.
And Bleach Demon would like to see Putin as PM. Well, he can't do any worse than the fucking idiot that's in there now, can he? But I do believe that the Tory party are just falling apart. I really do. They're at each other's throats with the policies.
The problem is, who do we get next? And that's where we're going to get fucked. You've got 7 years of purgatory coming.
Murph, you've been drinking too much. Try not to talk over people, mate, please.
Sorry, mate. I apologise.
No worries. I'm just noticing it. And you said earlier on, if I'd tell me, sir. I'll stay down in. Yeah, all right, Holly. No worries. Her iPad's overheating. That's probably.
I just try to treat this as a conversation. So that's all I'm doing.
StreamYard's draining it. But
keep me out if you want, mate. Keep me out if you want.
No, you're all right in a minute, mate. I was just mentioning it so you're conscious of it. That was all.
I'm conscious.
I don't like. I know you're conscious. Bleach Demon, you could say that. I'm sending my son to fight Russia. Well, they want all of us to fight Russia, don't they? But it ain't gonna happen.
Russia isn't the problem.
If they think any of this generation now are going to stand up and fight for this country, yes, they may well fight for the country, but they won't fight for the government. I will fight for the country, but I won't fight because the government want me to. If they want an army and they want to do something with it, then get on our fucking borders and stop people coming in.
Have you signed up for your veterans card?
Eh?
Have you signed up for your veterans card?
I'm not a veteran, mate.
No, but they launched the veteran card yesterday, which shows they're very, very worried.
Oh, they've been on about this for a while because they know they haven't really got a functioning army.
They launched it yesterday for the veterans card, and I went on it yesterday and I had a look at it, and I went, all you want is every fucking my service number, my rank, my address, my every blah, blah, blah. They're recruiting a fucking army.
Yes, Stuart, I used to get mine in bulk. Oh, God. Reverend's put his up with a new font.
Oh, maybe it's not really him.
This could be. But he's got 87.6 subscribers, which tells me it is him. See, I'm learning to do things on here. I can look into who you are. That's gay, Rev. Checked. Oh, what's he been putting in Discord?
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Let's go and have a look. Oh, look, there's my link. Oh my! He's got old English script by the looks of it in Discord.
Oh, yeah. Plain silly bees.
Nice one, Rev. Always sounds like a guy in a church in Blazing Saddles. Yeah. Your soul will burn in hell. Here come Mongo. Matrix, good evening, buddy. We're not going to be here much longer, but good evening. Yeah, it was a brilliant film. They're doing an edited version of it tomorrow. It's going to last about 3 minutes, I think, once the editing's finished.
They're still looking for bits they can use.
I'm
Nope, can't use that. Nope, can't.
not even going down the railway track line. The old guys get up, revving them. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I say, what we were talking about, I would fight for the country, but I wouldn't fight for the government, and I would fight the borders of our country. I wouldn't go anywhere else to fight.
I think it's become protectorates, i.e. that if you're in your local area, you will raise all the lads in your local area. You'll train all the lads in your local area.
Well, if they conscripted people, think about it this way.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to
How
happen.
many different toilets and barracks they can have for the 56 genders that are going to apply?
They're also all full. They're also all full of Islams.
You know, you got a sapper who walks into the MD's office. Please help me, sir. I'm pregnant. You fucking what? You know what I mean? I could imagine it. You know, it would be. Oh, what was the Monty Python's? Wasn't it the get you on parade? And that.
Do you know how real that is? Do you know how real that is? Do you know how real that is as to what we've got today? And that is how old?
Well, most of them today are either under the MD or on relief because of mental health issues.
Yeah.
To me, we haven't got a functioning army. Not one that you could deploy. The Royal Army Transcorp.
Yeah, but
Oh, you can see them going into the supply depot. Hello, darling. Do you want skirt or trousers? Oh, my hat don't fit. You know.
in my day, that depended on which side of the border you were on.
Oh my God! I can
Can
see
I
it now.
have
Me and my little tank.
Can I have a pink hat, please?
Yeah. Yeah, them rainbows ain't gonna hide you in a fucking jungle, are they? England's new army uniform, rainbow coloured. Oh dear. Oh God, my eyes have started now. Thank you, Grumpy Sapper. Oh fucking hell, I'm glad there's only about 20 minutes left. To get to this stage, my eyes will just start streaming and I can't focus.
Lee's a good boy. He's one of mine. Yeah, we're actually the same regiment. We're the same regiment. He's a Mecchi. I'm able. So
Well, this is the thing, as Tony just put there. You got this EU army that they're building, you know. But again, the EU is falling apart. You look how many countries are rejecting their policies now and saying "fuck you" with the immigrants, and just about every country over there is up in arms with their farmers and protests, and it's not a stable situation.
well, Germany did what 2,000 evictions of Syrians last week. They just evicted people like they're going out of fashion. Ukraine has turned around, not Ukraine, what's the other one? The other not Uganda. Anyway, all across Europe, it's becoming right wing. And they're just
Going back to that, they got to redesign the berets to accommodate the man bun.
yeah, you know.
That's it.
Fuck me. I mean, look. If you look at the change, if you look at the treatment of the colour last year, the only person who fell on the floor was the one wearing a turban.
Sorry, but I've got so many ideas coming in my head, and I can't say half of them on here. I'll lose the chat.
You know, Jesus fuck. I mean, it's like, what has gone wrong?
Okay, man.
Oh, shit.
Sorry, guys. When I lose it, I lose it. And it's
I'm
normally
just
one of my comments.
I'm-
Go on, Sean.
Hang on. I don't want to say anything because I've got no filter and I'll get myself into trouble and you.
That's the trouble. My filter slips now and
Well,
again.
then unleash. Look, as long as it's not derogatory, because this is a Friday night, you can subscribe to my channel and I will kick your ass. But
Grumpy Sapper goes.
you can turn around and just be nice and say your thing.
No, you got to know Sean can really hold her own when she wants to.
I know that. I'm fully aware.
Well said, Gary. What did Gary say? I'd fight Roger on the borders of our country, not go. Exactly, mate.
Allowed to say, I actually think I would get Roger into trouble, so I'm buttoned up.
Well, then, Sean, I invite you on to a beer with Murph next weekend, a beer with Murph tomorrow. All right. And you can talk any treason you want, and you're welcome.
Did Drone say?
Because I'm based in Dubai.
Right.
So you'll come through a
on
VPN,
his channel.
which means that anything you say to me stays here.
Oh, hello. What's he put
Mate.
up there?
Am I subscribed to you already?
I don't know. I'll have to check. I'll have to check because I'm at 22:40 and Ireland play France in 2 hours.
Yeah, it's 5 nations, isn't it, this weekend?
6
Nations. Whatever.
nations.
I don't follow rugby or football.
Oh no, but Sean knows about rugby. Tomorrow is her game.
Yeah, Heather's brother, that him and his missus follow it avidly. And it was quite funny, actually, because when I got talking to him, he actually supports a team that 2 of my cousins used to play for.
There you go. You see, you know what I mean? It's, you just don't know. One of the things I used to coach rugby, and I used to coach kids, and I used to say, look, no matter where you go in the world, just go and join a rugby club, and you'll make friends.
My 2 cousins played for the Saints. One's still connected to the club. The other one, he passed many years ago as a 21-year-old. He died at work, fell off a roof. But the other one and the family, that part of the family, have always been connected to Northampton Saints.
Bloody hell, that's a good pedigree.
He was one of the best as well. He was an evil bastard.
Yeah. That's what I love about rugby is you can be an assassinator on the pitch, and then you walk out and you have a beer with each other.
Yeah, well, you can check him out. Clive Folwell, his name was.
Oh, I know Fulber. I know him.
He used to be a big part of the club. Shy Ted, behave yourself now. I know what you can get like. You've only got about 1/4 hour left in here, so just see if you last till the end.
Link in the chat.
Sean, Heather's just put the link to Murph's channel there if you haven't subbed.
Oh, brilliant. In the back chat?
No, in the main chat. There's a link
brilliant.
there.
Thanks, Heather. Thank you.
Bear in mind the way his system works over there. The stream could be anything from a minute.
It can last between 2 minutes and 5 hours. And I have to get it out of the box. I have to get it out of that box out of there at the moment because I've been busy working. So At the moment, it's on the phone.
Nah, you're all right, Ted. Don't worry about it, mate. I'm just in one of them moods now. I got set off earlier on. And it could be interesting here tonight for the lovely Heather there, because once I get in one of these moods, I don't stop. If once I've finished on here, I'll keep on taking the piss out.
Oh, you'll get hungry eventually. You know.
We've still got to work out what we're eating, though, Murph. That can take us half an hour to figure out.
Yeah, it's funny. I can't make this. If I've got too many choices, I can't make a decision.
Well, that's down to you then, Mrs. W. Make the choice.
You can have
Eat what you get given. Remember, you have to remember as we get older, we start off young, and your mother comes up to you and she goes, "You'll eat this," and you go, "Okay, I'll eat this." And as you get older, and into our dotage, you just turn around, just eat this, eat this. Okay, I'll eat this, I'll eat this. So, Mrs. W, you have a responsibility in life.
No, sorry, Murph, because I don't know how hungry he is. So if I put a big meal in front of him, he'll complain. If I put a small meal in front of him, he'll complain. I've got to know how hungry he is.
Well, no. You've got to learn how to do bubble and squeak. So what you do is lots of potatoes, lots of carrots, lots of onions, lots of everything. Put everything together. And if he doesn't eat it,
mate,
he gets it for breakfast the next day. You don't leave the table until you finish your dinner.
No, we wouldn't eat it.
how can you have your pudding if you don't eat your meat? No, I'm a carnivore.
Yeah, well, bacon, sausage, egg, and bubble and squeak tomorrow. You wolf that down. You know damn well you would.
Believe it or not, I don't eat big meals. And I don't want to start now because obviously with the giving up the smoking, the first thing people usually turn to is eating, which means you put on weight. Now, my issue is with my medical issues, I can't exercise to get that weight off. So the only way I can keep my weight at a level is through eating properly. And I didn't know, but probably for the last couple of years, Heather's had me on a low carb diet anyway.
No, low fat.
Low fat diet. And the thing is, I like me bacon, I like me meat. But I've never been a big eater, mate. Never been a big eater.
He's not a big noodle eater, Grumpy Sapper.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of pasta. I don't mind pasta, but I don't eat a lot of it. I'm literally, if you put a plate of meat, spuds and peas in front of me, I'm happy. You know, most meats I eat. I don't like too spicy of food. I'll eat mild curries and use sweet chili sauce, but I don't like chili. Obviously, that irritates my throat as well with the condition of that. But no, I eat sensibly. I like
noodles, but most of them are fried and actually contain far too much fat, so he's not allowed those.
And I'll be honest, we will have the odd takeaway, but that is literally, we do that as a treat. So Heather doesn't have to cook. There's no cleaning up to do, no washing up. So as a treat, now and again, we said, right, we'll just have a chilled night and we'll have a takeaway. But even that will be usually a Chinese or a mild curry. Well, what was it you had last? A mixed grill, wasn't it?
Oh, tandoori mixed grill.
Tandoori mixed grill, that was the one, yeah.
Oh, I like those. I like those. Tandoori mixed grill. Ooh, yes.
100% brown rice noodles. I mean, I don't mind. Hello. What did Shy Ted put in there, Ollie? Has he started already?
Yeah.
He couldn't last 5 minutes, could he?
No. If I'd have seen that, I'd have done exactly the same.
I didn't see what he'd put, to be honest.
Would you like me to tell you?
Yeah, go on then.
Why do you ban me for no reason on Pap's channel? You're a twitchy cunt with that ban shit.
Oh, well.
Oh, very nice, very nice. So eloquent, so eloquent.
Well, he actually misspelled the
in that case, then he doesn't just get the message deleted, he gets fucked off. See you, Ted. Fuck off. Bye.
My lord, my lord. I mean, so eloquent. I love the way that these guys can actually turn around. They did so much education at school.
I don't think half of them have got any sort of education, mate.
I don't think they even wanted any school education because bear in mind we're third generation now. We're third generation.
No, you're not. Got any other profiles, have we?
Who's next?
Yeah, who's next?
Yeah, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. Sean, you and me going to do a beer with Murph tomorrow? I want to hear your attitude. I want to hear what you want to say. I actually love what you got to say. I love what you got to say. So,
Well, if you'd shut up for a minute, she might be able to say something. Sorry.
she's nodding at the moment. She's drinking a tea and nodding. She's got a hangover. Leave her alone.
Well, we were expecting one or two of them, weren't we, Ollie? Go on, Sean.
But tomorrow, working today, we don't have a house.
You're breaking up again. It might be your microphone, actually. What sort of microphone are you using, Sean? You're freezing now as well.
You're freezing. It's a net. It's a net. It's a net. It's a net. It's a net.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
probably StreamYard. Yeah, we've only got a couple of minutes to go, Ollie. I was going to wrap it up in a minute anyway, so because I am getting awfully hungry. I've only had 2 slices of toast today, and that's it. So, right, guys, people in the chat, absolutely wonderful to see you all. We've had some good
it's been a
figures.
pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Don't worry about me. I'll be dropping in and out every now and again. I'm not every week. Okay.
Right, we'll mute him for a minute while I'm talking. Now, we've had a couple of dickheads in today. I was expecting it. Don't worry about them. They won't be coming back. They're actually blocked from the channel. They'll try and come back with other profiles. But sorry, guys, people like you, I just don't want arseholes in here. So if that's all you've got, fuck off. It's not worth you coming in here. Guys in the chat, though, absolutely brilliant again. Lovely and respectful. Shame about them too. Or one with 2 profiles, as it were. But there we go. This is what we get on social media, unfortunately. But thank you guys for all dropping in. You are appreciated, and respects to every single one of you for following the channel and supporting it. Not financially. Oh, Murph took himself out now. Now, sometimes he gets a bit much, and he openly admits when he's had a beer, he just don't shut up. But no, absolutely brilliant, guys. I hope you've enjoyed your afternoon. Sean, been absolutely lovely to see you on the panel again. Absolutely. You're always welcome. You know that.
Tell her to try talking just before you cut it short.
Yeah, that's why I say I don't know what microphone you're using.
Just try again, Sean.
I'm using a tablet. I'm using a tablet.
Oh, can you plug an external microphone into it?
Yeah.
Because, believe it or not, is it the little? Oh, there it is. The little 3.5 jack in it, like a headphone thing for the microphone.
Yeah.
It might help.
Wait, you can get those for less than £4 off of eBay.
If you haven't got one.
That's what I used to use originally on the channel, was that. And that cost me I think it was £3.50 off of eBay. And they do work.
She's got a set there. She's got a headset.
But right then, guys, I'm going to sign off for now because I am getting hungry. Thank you all for dropping in. The regulars, obviously, Holly, Jenny, Gary, Tony. Well, there's too bloody many in there to mention now. Pardon me.
All the
But-
boys and all the girls.
We will be up Friday and as usual next week. But as I say, next week, there probably won't be a video till Wednesday. Monday, I don't do one. That's my day off. And Tuesday, I'm at the hospital all day. As I said, they got to nuke my blood, put it back into me or some of it so they can see what's going on. But it'll probably be a few weeks before I get the results, but it will save me having a lot of treatment if they can see exactly what's going on in there. So with that, guys, if you want to stay there for a minute, Sean, thank you for dropping in, and we'll see you all next week or on the videos in the week. Take care, guys. Do you want to say goodbye?
Bye, everyone.